You're strapped in to a live radio broadcast on Pure Rock Radio.
Just about everyone and their dog has a website or uses a domain name like yourname.com. Thanks to our partnership with GoDaddy, the leader in hosting and domain name registration, we can offer all our listeners big savings on everything GoDaddy offers. Go to purerockradio.net/GoDaddy for a full list of coupon codes to save on hosting your website, registering your domain name, and much more. You can even switch to GoDaddy anytime to start saving, and our coupon codes will never expire. Every time you use one of our coupon codes, it benefits you, Pure Rock Radio, and all the shows we carry. So thanks for visiting purerockradio.net/GoDaddy today. Try coupon code POD167 to save 10% off your GoDaddy purchases today.
Welcome to the Used Bin. All music, all the time. What are you listening to? Used Bin Radio.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Generation Game. Nice to see you, Oh, didn't he do well, though? Oh, good game. Very good game.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday night. We want to thank you for joining us here in the Used Bin. I am Joe, and to my right is Brad. How are you doing, brother man?
Good day.
Good day. This is like a rerun, right? This is like deja vu.
What's happening did not suck. Rerun. Fred Berry, ladies and gentlemen, in the house.
Well played, sir. Well played, sir. So we want to thank you for joining us here for our weekly Tuesday evening get-together where we like to talk about tunes. We're going to tell you what we've been listening to and about some upcoming shows and all kinds of good things in the music world. But for this to be a truly interactive experience, we need to hear from you. And the way that works is you call us at 888-405-7440 or tell the good folks where they can email us, brother man.
usedbinradio@usedbin.com. That's usedbinradio@usedbin.com. It's a lot of letters in there, so get out your pens and pencils, boys and girls.
There's dots and commas, but it's all good. And the brother man wouldn't lie to you. You really can't get a hold of us there.
Well, in this situation, I wouldn't lie to you. How about that?
That's fair. That's fair. So, having said that, we want to know what you've been listening to. We want to know if you've been to any good shows. If you want to email us some naked photos of your mom, that's all good too. And we got a lot to talk about tonight.
A lot of things.
Yes, we did not schedule any featured guests this evening, so the phone lines are wide open for y'all. For y'all. Y'all.
This is the southern version of Used Bin Radio.
That's right. By the way,
Counterschmeg.
The salted caramel frappuccino has kicked in.
Like Gewalt.
Feeling good.
There you go.
Feeling groovy.
Here it comes.
Yeah. But we this is a big day. It's a banner day because today is the release of a record that we've been waiting for a long time. Especially Used Bin listeners have been waiting for a long time.
Oh, you're talking about the Anthrax record.
No, not exactly.
No
Not exactly the Anthrax record.
Wait a second.
I don't think I've ever strung the words together. The highly anticipated Anthrax release.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Give it to me.
The Lady Antebellum record.
You're getting warmer.
Okay.
You're getting warmer.
Okay. It's the long-awaited release of a record a band we talk about. Oh, Bush.
Not even close.
The Bush record's out today.
I'll give you a hint. Mike Portnoy used to be in this particular band.
Got it. Pick me.
You in the front row?
Humphreys McGee, Death by Stereo.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close. And I thought you were going to say Avenged Sevenfold.
Damn me to hell. Oh, wait a second.
Be the ball, Brad. Be the ball. This is like deja vu.
Let me think about this all over again. Let me think about this. It's a record, a band we talk about. It's not Anthrax. It's not Bush.
It's not.
It's not Lady Antebellum.
It's not. And it's not Blondie.
It's not Blondie. Call me. It's not Humphreys McGee. God damn it, must be Dream Theater.
It must be Dream Theater. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
It must be. That should be the name of the retrospective.
Ding, 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 ding.
It must be Dream Theater.
It must be Dream Theater. Yeah. Well, their greatest, their best of was cleverly titled Greatest Hit and 22 Others.
Right.
Love that.
Loved that. Absolutely.
By the way, worth mentioning that at the top of the show, just before you heard our lovely voices, you heard the voice of one Bruce Forsyth. And I wanted to mention that because one of our listeners, Darren, not to point fingers, mentioned last week that he pointed out that Bruce was the guy who coined the phrase, nice to see you nice, which we have made a regular part of our routine, our shtick, if you will.
It's a part of the used bin vernacular.
It is. It definitely is. And he coined that phrase. And very interesting that the timing that it was brought up last week, because I just found out that Bruce Forsyth, who is an English comedian, talk show host, and has been on English TV for some 60 years, I believe, was just knighted by the Queen.
Oh, well.
Hello. Good morning.
Good day. Well, very good. That's right.
He was...
I was going to be knighted by the Queen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Freddie died.
Fucker. I have nothing to say about that. But Bruce Forsyth was inducted into the Queen's knighthood this year, along with two others, Colin Firth and Brian Ferry. Interesting selections.
What does that really mean?
I don't know. But when Bruce Forsyth, who's 83 by the way, went down to Buckingham Palace to accept his knighthood from the Queen, he said, "Knight to see ya, knight."
Very good.
Very good.
Nice.
We would have it no other way.
It's true. We really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Lots. I'm telling you. We were joking around earlier.
Yeah.
Today was a big day in music.
Yeah.
A lot of records out today. And I meant all those records I mentioned.
Yeah.
All out today. Big September 13th, and there's a big end of the month coming with Opeth coming.
Opeth is coming.
A couple other big records I know. So there's a lot going on this month. We talked about it earlier, but an impressive day in music.
Not to mention the upcoming remaster and re-release of I think they're calling it the Super Deluxe U2 Achtung Baby set.
And Super Deluxe is an understatement.
It really is, because I'm a fan of when some bands do the remaster and re-release. Iron Maiden's done it a few too many times at this point, but when they do, or for a while there, what they did was not only did they clean up the original record, but they would throw a bunch of extra rarities and B-sides at you, which was great. And of course, no secret, when Marillion did their remasters, I was all over it, because each disc suddenly became a 2-disc set.
Right.
One was the remastered original record, and then an entire second disc of B-sides and demos from that particular period. And U2's been doing really good about their remasters as well, because they've been doing something similar to Marillion with the repackaging, the remastering of the record, and lots of B-sides. But this one, I think they not only blew their load, I think they just jumped the shark.
Right.
Because what did we see? It's on Amazon for $649. It comes in a huge book with a hardcover photo booklet and 12 discs, 4 DVDs, vinyl of the record, stickers, even a pair of Bono's Fly sunglasses.
It's Achtung Baby and Zooropa.
Right.
You get the Zoo TV DVD, and you get the movie.
The making of Achtung Baby.
Right. And then along with the vinyl and the DVD, it's some more CDs, rarities, outtakes, B-sides. It's retarded.
There's a lot going on.
It's $650.
We need the lunchbox and the thermos in there.
Wait, don't forget the 83-page hardcover book.
Right.
That goes along with the puzzle magnetic.
That's right, magnetic puzzle pieces. So you could put Bono, Edge, and Larry on your refrigerator.
Good day.
And hang up your kids' homework with the little gold star on it.
I'll call you.
On your freezer.
No interest.
When you're reaching for an ice cream.
Or a friendly. That's really silly now, isn't it? I mean, seriously, that's a little over the top.
It's a little over the top. And yet there's U2 fans right now who are going, I can't wait.
It's a little self-indulgent. It's a little full of yourself.
I would have expected that packaging for for the remaster and re-release of like Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery.
Right.
All right.
That's just, come on.
In fact, that would be cool. I want the magnetic puzzle pieces of Carl and Keith and Greg on my freezer.
Well, with the way Greg looks these days, that have to be an awfully big puzzle.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll call you there.
That's large.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm not interested in any of that. Come on, dude. There's a bulge going on there. You listen to Leco Belly? Don't they sound a little bit like the Cranberries?
A little bit like the Cranberries.
Yeah, the vocals are a little Cranberry-ish.
Yep, I get it.
Okay, Dissident Aggressor, chosen by Steve Vai and Jeff Tate. I'm not buying the Jeff Tate.
No.
Not after our conversation with Jeff Tate.
No, because he doesn't have time to listen to anybody but Queensryche.
And why would he?
When why would he?
The guy writes 487,000 songs a year.
And that's when he's not making wine. Or on Carnival cruises.
Exciter, chosen by Accept. Okay.
I buy it.
Beyond the Realms of Death. Nice. Chosen by Lars Ulrich.
Oh, good for him.
Yep. Delivering the Goods, chosen by Kerry King of Slayer. He's the the cartoon character of metal. The Green Messiah.
Or Manalishi, perhaps.
Manalishi, how about that?
With the two-pronged crown.
Yes.
Written by?
Who?
Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac.
Very nice.
Okay.
And chosen by David Coverdale of Whitesnake.
All right. He must be a big Fleetwood Mac fan.
And Randy Blythe of Lamb of God. He's definitely a Fleetwood Mac fan.
How about that?
The Ripper, chosen by
Tim Ripper Owens.
John Osborne, otherwise known as Ozzy.
Uncle Oz.
Victim of Changes, ladies and gentlemen, chosen by
everyone.
James Hetfield.
I would have sworn it was going to be Sebastian Bach.
Yeah. Breaking the Law, chosen by Lemmy. Not buying it.
Not buying it.
Rapid Fire, chosen by
good tune.
Vinnie Paul.
Vinnie Paul. I'll sell you a Dodge. Hell yeah!
Woo-hoo. Come check out my Dodge. Yeah. All right, Rapid Fire. Judas
Nice.
Priest. Woo. How about Grinder, ladies and gentlemen?
Looking for meat.
Chosen by Zach Wilde. Living After Midnight, chosen by Alice Cooper and Geezer Butler.
Well, you know about Alice. Where's the song? Show me the song.
Show me the song. Screamin' for Vengeance, chosen by Slash. It's so funny. It's a Slash of Guns N' Roses. He hasn't been in Guns N' Roses in a long time, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to say Slash. Formerly of Guns N' Roses would have been appropriate.
Wait. Were any of the songs chosen by members of ACT? And if so, which song would they choose?
No, but how good is this, though?
It's so good. I think we're progging out tonight.
Oh, listen to that. Oh, dude.
What song
play.
of Judas Priest would these guys champion?
Something off Nostradamus.
Turbo Lover?
That's on here. Don't worry.
Or Parental Guidance.
Parental Guidance.
I'm thinking the ACT guys are sitting in a room right now listening to Parental Guidance.
This is so groovy, though.
They're so due for their next record.
I'm in.
I'm ready.
Let's see. How about you, Joe?
Yes.
Have another thing coming.
I do indeed have another thing coming.
You know who that was chosen by?
Your mom?
Can you see the cameras in the air? Can you see them?
We are making a live album here tonight. California!
Klaus Meine and Corey Taylor of Slipknot. The Sentinel, chosen by Chris Jericho of Fozzy. Makes perfect sense. Turbo Lover, ladies and gentlemen, chosen by Jonathan Davis of Korn. And Painkiller, chosen by Joe Satriani. That's right, Painkiller.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cute.
So my question to you, Joe Mama.
Sir.
If you were a part of the chosen few, what Judas Priest song would you have picked?
When the Lights Go Down, off of the Defenders of the Faith album.
All right, very good.
Thank you very much.
Not bad.
Very underrated song. A little bit of a different mood, which is nice on a best of like that, because a lot of those tend to have the same sort of pacing. And I thought it was a great vocal performance. And I have a recollection of them performing it outdoors as the sun was setting, and it was one of the most magical Judas Priest moments ever.
Doesn't exist. I'll go with Electric Eye for 1,000, Alex. And I'll take
Nice.
that as my choice, and I
Nice.
will rock my balls off to that because the vocals on that are retarded, and I love the way he sings the chorus on that. It is like monster. It is the most, you'll love this. It's a very thick middle voice.
Nice.
You know something about that because you were in the jacuzzi. Oh, no, wait a minute. You were not in the jacuzzi.
You see the microphones up in the air? You see them?
I do, Klaus. Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
Klaus.
little. Yes, so I would go Electric Eye for that.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Not a bad record, though. This
No.
isn't a bad...
No heavy duty on there, though.
No. For 17 songs, it's not bad. I'm not buying some of it, though,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. There's no way some of these guys are choosing some of these songs. No way Lemmy chose Breaking the Law.
I didn't hear Sinner on there
No, you didn't. You know why?
because it's not on there.
Because it's not on there.
Okay, interesting. But I'm glad Exciter, made the grade because that one gets left behind a lot.
Sure.
In fact, they haven't played that in a long, long time.
Yeah.
So,
Any interest in this tour?
not really.
No.
I mean, it's a farewell tour. I think I kind of said goodbye already.
That's not really a farewell tour either. They're making another record.
Well,
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
No, don't need to see it.
No KK, no bueno. That's the T-shirt that I'll be wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not interested. I thought the last time we saw them, I thought they were good, but not great. And
Rob was kind of phoning it in.
He doesn't move anymore.
No, he
You
just
know?
stares at the shoes, or
Yeah.
maybe it was the monitor with the lyrics. I can't really tell.
Either one. I don't even care about that.
Right, as long as you could hit the notes.
I'm sort of over that. Like, some of these bands, they've got 40 years of songs,
Right.
And that's okay if you need the monitor. That's totally fine. Getty uses the monitor. That's fine. I guess it still feels like he's phoning it in because he isn't really moving. At least, listen, I'll give Ozzy credit. Ozzy, we don't give Ozzy very much credit live anymore. But
Crazy!
But at least he's doing his thing. Like, at least he's being Ozzy. Even though he's got the monitors there, he's still doing his thing. Yeah. And he can't sing anymore, and it is what it is. But anyway, that's my opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah.
How about we take a little break and see if we can figure out the phones? Because the phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. Just give us a moment to get this all sorted. In the meantime, jot down the digits. 888-405-7440. It's Joe and Brad. It's Used Bin Radio. We're going to rock you tonight, California.
Or you can email us.
Yeah.
usebinradio@usebin.com. If for whatever reason we can't get these phones up, and I don't know that we can, don't hesitate to send us an email or find a way to get a hold of us via carrier pigeon.
Smoke signals are good.
Yeah, so black smoke.
Black clouds and silver linings.
Yeah, well, isn't it black smoke? The Pope, they found a Pope. White smoke, they found
right.
a Pope. Which one is it? I don't remember. If you see the smoke, it's like white smoke.
If you see the microphones in the air, it means they're recording a live album here tonight. And you are in it.
And we will rock you like a hurricane.
Every song I've got for featured tracks this evening, by the way, this evening's show is brought to you by the letter D.
D.
Okay? And
I know what you're going to play.
Because tonight is a big night for Dream Theater, I'm about to play you some
Bush, Blondie, Aerosmith,
Def Leppard.
Well, let's get Saturday night high and dry. Yes, I got a day, but midnight rain.
Bin Radio. What are you listening to?
On the wires I can hear you coming with a rush and a strumming. There's electric phase, ain't no teenage craze.
Dude, nice. Well played.
Thank you, sir.
A little electric phase.
Yeah.
Off the Lights Out album, I do believe.
Yes, Lights Out. Lights Out.
In London.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And that followed up a little live Def Leppard.
Yes.
Live High and
Oh,
Dry.
you caught that, did you?
I did. Well, I heard
Caught
the
that, did you?
crowd. All right, so here's the story.
And since they've never released a live album, I think you've already figured that it was... Oh, I won't use the B word.
I'll say it was a bootleg.
Oh, look out, boys and girls.
All right, we have phones, ladies and gentlemen.
Phones.
However,
there's
hold,
a caveat.
Hold your horses. Don't dial yet. I have an alternate number for you, ladies and gentlemen. The 800 number is the problem, and I will fix that over during the week. So in the meantime, you can use area code 310-840-4438. That's 310-840-4438. You will get through, and we will have a chat.
That's right.
Of
Or,
sorts.
as always, you could drop us an email at usebinradio@usebin.com. We want to know what you've been listening to.
Totally.
I want to tell you about something that I got in the mail.
Okay.
As everybody knows, I'm a concert junkie, and I think I'm now well upwards of 2,000 concerts.
Right.
And I collect my ticket stubs and have them nicely displayed in a little book, and I love those because it's great little reminders that you were there, especially if they're from decades ago. And so I love that kind of thing.
Right.
And during the course of the week, I got a little package in the mail.
Okay.
And it was from one Monica, my ex-girlfriend from high school.
What? Who gets those packages?
Yeah, right. And I opened up this package, and there was a lovely little letter in it that said, "Hi, hope you and Kim are doing great." She's got two beautiful daughters. One of them is in high school now and is wearing all of Monica's concert T-shirts from the late 70s, early 80s.
Nice.
And she calls her mom vintage now. But she apparently was cleaning up some of the archives, I guess, and found a whole batch of ticket stubs from when she and I were going to shows in high school. Ticket stubs that I no longer had in my collection.
Okay.
And it was a real treat, I got to say, because I was flipping through this, and it was some of the really good ones. Because in recent years, my ticket stub collection has been fairly solid. I'm on track these days. But in the early days, you were drunk, you were stoned, whatever was going on.
Right.
We just didn't pay that much attention to it. So it was really cool that she was finding some of the things that I hadn't seen in years. Things like the Permanent Waves tour. Well done.
Proud of you, pal.
Well done.
All right, let's see who we got here. Good day in the used bin. Who's this?
Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Oh, it's a Canadian.
Very nice. Then $10 is $10.
We got our toques on. What's happening, Mr. William McDaniel? What are you up to, pal?
The Foo Fighters. Oh, is that a massive looking crowd? That's just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's really great. I know they're I know that they are playing Wembley again this year, if they haven't already. They're doing it again. So
that's fair.
Yeah, they talk a lot about that in the documentary. He talks about, at the end of the documentary, they talk about what Dave Grohl talks about what that was like to play Wembley, and I think so. They're playing the concert right after they air the documentary,
William,
which is great.
William, does that include the? Didn't they bring out Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones for a couple of songs at that show?
Yep.
Yeah, so it includes that on the CD as well.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, that was a nice touch. Especially because it was London.
Yeah.
And it's weird, but, it's weird to think that Led Zeppelin actually has a hometown. But, when you're in London, it's like the Led Zeppelin hometown crowd.
Right. Well, you bring out Brian May, you bring out, Jimmy Page. Those are the legends.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good deal. So, very nice. That's a great show. What a great rock band they are, man. They are the epitome of arena rock. And in this case, stadium rock.
Yeah. Good.
I'm just starting to get into them, so my brother gave me some of their music, and I've just been eating it up.
I just love how raw they are. We've talked about it before, but Dave Grohl is such the epitome of a rock star. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He knows the shtick. He's really good at playing up the crowd. He plays just great riff rock, and he's not the greatest live singer in the world, and it doesn't matter. It's every song you can sing to, and you bounce, and you just want to, you root for the guy. He's the guy you root for.
And he's funny.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And he's on the short list of the people that I think most rock fans would want to go have a drink with.
Oh yeah,
like maybe Bono, although that would be an entirely different political conversation. But I think Grohl is on a short list.
If you have a drink with Bono, it's intimidating. If you have a drink with Grohl, he's your buddy.
Yeah,
it's a whole different scene.
It's a Grohl deal.
It is. He's a good deal. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
You want to hang out with the guy.
Absolutely.
I had a great experience with Dave Grohl. Yeah, absolutely. When I was...
was this in a jacuzzi?
No, and there were no friendlies.
All right, very good.
But when he was here, when I was working at Westwood One and we were doing some radio interview stuff, this was right around the second Foo Fighters record. He came to do some interviews with everybody, and he had a limited amount of time, and he could not have been nicer. And usually guys in that situation are not that nice. They know they have a limited amount of time, and they're squeezing you in, and they let you know without exactly saying it that they're squeezing you in.
Yeah.
So they do 2 minutes here, 1 minute here, 3 minutes there. He could not have been cooler. He answered every question. Couldn't have been nicer. Hugs to everybody. A genuinely good dude.
And
really impressed.
Good bit of trivia too about Dave Grohl that not a lot of people know, but I'll just share with you now. He was actually in a band before the Foo Fighters. I just wanted to let you know.
Dave Grohl was?
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's true.
Are there any recordings of that band?
We can only imagine.
Oh, Joe, never mind. All right, let's go.
Never mind.
Oh, very nice, William. What else you got going on?
A bunch of Tool.
Oh, Danny Carey, how are you? Good morning.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Those guys are good. By the way, have you seen Maynard's Personality? Because I know we haven't.
Yeah, I'm going to start hanging up flyers around town. Have you seen this personality?
I think I may have seen it walking through the hall today here at the school. I'm not sure though.
That was nearly Headless Nick.
Well, if you do see him again, wrestle his personality to the ground, and we'll get an address on Usbin Radio where it can be sent to.
Right.
Care of Maynard.
FedEx.
Yes, indeed, because he needs it back.
Did you happen by any chance to listen to another progressive rock band from the New York area?
Yeah, actually I did, now that you mention it.
Oh, that's just as an afterthought.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a little album, so I wasn't sure if you guys knew about it.
It's a little under the radar. What'd you think?
It exceeded my expectations, to be completely honest.
Okay.
I had, high expectations for it, but Mangini, not knowing much of him except for like YouTube stuff, he was what I thought might be a monkey wrench. But
that's the Foo Fighters song.
I really liked it. It was a pain in the ass to get because my local music store has something with Warner, who owns Road Record, that they aren't getting any stock from them. So after a 40-minute walk to go and get the thing after all day of classes, I got to go home and download it.
Well, nice job going above and beyond the call of duty to seek out the music that you require.
What a dramatic turn of events!
Yes,
not
indeed.
Having the record.
Indeed. Never mind.
Well, I figure I'll just pick up the hard copy when I go and see them in October.
There you go.
Well, I'm glad you like the record. I've enjoyed it myself. We're going to get into a whole discussion on this in a little while, but I'm glad you dug the record. I think that has been the general consensus, is that people are pleasantly surprised.
You like it. You really, really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Hey, William, wanted to ask you something real quick. Last week when we were having the whole Queen conversation, and then I know that Fleabag was posting on the Facebook page, because I know he listens to the podcast, but he posted on the Facebook page the YouTube clip of Tom Chaplin doing Queen, and then he posted, what did he posted Extreme, doing Queen at the Freddie tribute concert.
Show?
Yeah, and then he posted a third clip, and he was
George Michael, maybe.
I don't remember what it was, but he was getting into the conversation that we were having about who fronts Queen the best,
right,
and that whole thing. And I know that you had said that you had never heard Extreme's 3 Sides to Every Story. Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh, it's a monster.
Have you had a chance to go out and get that yet, or is that next week's deal?
I looked at it, or I looked for it, I should say, but I didn't see it today. So maybe next week when I go, because I'm thinking of picking up the new Opeth record and try and get into them.
Very good. Well, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that, because I know how much you're digging Queen these days. So, and Joe and I have always said that the 3 Sides to Every Story, it's the best Queen record Queen ever made.
Yeah.
It's a spectacular album.
It's very large, and it's got. It's funny how at the time, obviously, we didn't know this, but in retrospect, it's got a lot of Queen. It's got a little bit of what we now know as Dream Theater,
right?
Which wasn't even a thought at the time, and a bit of the traditional Extreme sound as well. But I think
Mangini didn't play on that record, did he?
No, he did some of the more recent tours. Yeah,
that's right.
Darren wanted me to relay a message. He says it would take a dramatic turn of events for him to get into Dream Theater. It was into the band much, but who knows?
Well, ask him if Mike Portnoy were in Dream Theater.
Would he have a change of heart?
Would he listen?
Yeah. He says he saw a guy that looked like Mike Portnoy today in the mall.
Huh.
I don't usually see a lot of guys in boxing robes with blue beards walking around my mall, but I guess it is possible. Twirling sticks while he's walking to
that's right,
to the food court.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
That's crazy.
Did you guys watch any of that Best Buy Metal Masters thing last night?
You know, it was on Yahoo, right, or something like that.
This was the
on live stream or something. I posted a link to. They have it up now. I posted a link on my Facebook.
Okay, could you pass that on to the Usman page?
I will.
That'd be spectacular.
Beautiful.
And that was with Charlie Benante and
Portnoy.
Yes, Michael J. Portnoy.
Scott Ian, maybe.
Right, and I think Phil Anselmo was there.
That sounds about right.
Which means that Vinnie Paul was selling cars.
Hell yeah!
It was a good show. I stayed up because I caught the end of the Anthrax set, and then
you caught Anthrax. You caught Anthrax,
and I liked it.
Yeah. Wow.
But
you kissed a girl and you liked it.
But right after that, they started to replay the stuff from earlier in the morning, from earlier in the evening. So I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching that.
Attaboy. How are classes going?
Classes are going good.
Yeah.
There's a strike here, so there's a couple of temporary teachers in for right now. But things are going good, and I'm getting a lot of different things in, and I'm getting a lot of time for my recording and stuff.
Nice.
And might be hitting my first. Well, I'm probably going to be hitting my first concert in Toronto on Thursday night.
Who are you going to see?
Jimmy Rankin. You probably wouldn't know him. I recorded a show of his back in June, so he's playing up here, and I just finished mixing it, so I'm going to go see him and give him that.
You know what's a cool thing about him? Is he's probably on tour right now, maybe in the States or somewhere, and he's going to have to pop over to Toronto, for the date that William's going to go to. And when he lands at the airport over there, and he collects his baggage, it's going to have a YYZ stamped on it. I'm just saying.
Oh, never mind. That's pretty great, William. Listen to you in the music business. I just finished recording and mixing a show that I got to bring to the guy.
That's right. And good luck with that Anthrax. Hope that clears up for you.
Yeah, well, I don't want to give it to him, right?
Right.
He might get mad.
No, you don't want to do that. No, nor friendlies either. By the way,
none of that.
I'm just saying.
None of that.
But no, that's going good. I just got gear, so I can actually do 15 tracks of recording in Pro Tools. So.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Listen to you, a working gentleman in the music business. That's good to hear, William. Very, very proud of you. Very happy for you.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Westwood One is where you guys are at, right?
That is correct. The Westwood One Studios here in beautiful downtown Culver City, Los Angeles, California.
Same Westwood One from the Lemmy DVD?
You were to say that again? The same Westwood
From the
One?
Lemmy DVD?
Yes.
Did he probably Westwood One is
it's the only Westwood one.
It's the only Westwood one, but he probably did some in studio interviews or something for the movie.
Yeah,
here?
there's an interview, and I'm pretty sure it said Westwood One, and it was like at the beginning of the Lemmy movie.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't catch that when I saw the movie, but yeah, I'm sure that is. Westwood One's been around for an awfully long time. In fact, I remember when I started working here, Joe was very excited because it was the vault of bootlegs.
That's right.
Which aren't really bootlegs, obviously.
Legitimate live recordings that would never get released otherwise. Anytime you hear like concerts, well, not so much anymore, but back in the day, you used to hear concerts broadcasted on the radio, on FM radio, on like King Biscuit Flower Hour, or any kind of live show or simulcast. It was always Westwood One, and they had the Westwood One recording studios, the recording trucks, and So the mother lode of recordings was right here in this room, here.
Not in this room.
And you took them all.
And I took them all.
And we liked it.
And we liked it.
All right, William. Have a good night, my friend.
Just one quick more thing, actually.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No.
Would you be able to hook me up with some Shark Island? Possibly.
I think I could probably arrange that.
I think we could work that out.
I think we
should definitely be putting some up on the Used Bin site, along with the featured tracks and the Used Bin MP3 player that we have up there. Which, by the way,
is it down?
It's down right now, but when it goes back up, everybody should go over to, this is my little plug for the evening, go over to usebin.com if you haven't already joined the forum, because there's some great conversation going on in there. A lot of people talking about their guilty pleasures and their wish list for their all-time imaginary festival of choice.
Always a fun topic.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff going on in there, so check that out. But yeah, we put up some tunes over there, and maybe on the sly, we might even be able to get you something.
Yeah, I think we can probably send you something.
We can work something out.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect, guys.
Good deal, man. Well, take it easy, William. Be careful to yourself. Godspeed, my friend.
And good day.
And good day.
Good day. Good night.
Good night. Yeah, I think we could hook some people up with the island.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that I'm glad there's people asking.
Absolutely. It was even though it was a few weeks now.
Yeah.
That Richard Black appearance here in the Used Bin was a real treat for us.
Oh,
because again, a lot of people outside of Los Angeles really don't understand what a huge impact that band, and Richard in particular as a frontman, as the prototype for the Hollywood rock star frontman, had a huge impact. And what a great catalog of tunes.
Yeah.
Very much underrated. So we're happy to do what we can to get the word out there.
I really enjoyed the binge that happened pre and post Richard on our show.
It was a used binge of sorts.
It was of sorts is an understatement. I mean, that was definitely I was having quite a moment, and it's all good stuff. And like Joe said, he really is a prototype of the great frontman, and a lot of people don't know the genesis of where that came from, whether it's via Axl Rose or whatever. But Richard is really the guy, and they were just a special, incredible band. So the more that are interested, the better, and we'd find a way to hook you up.
Yes, because our mission is to gather the faithful.
That's right.
All right.
Hey, got an email here about Def Leppard from Hermie.
Okay.
Pyromania is British rock at its best, and yet Hysteria is pure radio hits.
Yeah.
I dare you to find two albums that exist back to back that differ so greatly. I love them both. Pyromania rocked, but yet Hysteria was a huge part of my teenage youth.
But for right now, let's just go to the phones.
Okay, we could do that.
And let's see what we got. Who's in the Used Bin?
Your vibe to it. So it's just the horns, everything. It's just funk, man. This is what I told my friends. It makes this plump Chicano cut the rug into shreds.
Nice.
Can you send us that video?
I'm wearing golf cleats.
Nice.
I want to see the video.
Yeah, put that up on YouTube while you're listening to some Lenny. I want to see that.
It's funny, Tony. I'm a Lenny fan. In fact, I'm probably. I love obviously the first two records, but I really enjoyed. What is it? 5? Isn't that what it's called? 5.
Yeah.
I really liked that record a lot, and I know that's the sound on that record. It's a little more compressed, but I was really a fan of it. I thought the songs on that record were excellent, like Black Velveteen and stuff like that. Really a fan. Really dug it. This record, for whatever reason, I'm having a really tough time getting into. I just can't. It feels a little sort of. I don't know.
What,
I don't want to
Brad?
say
What?
I don't want to say boring, but it just feels a little done to me. Like, I want Lenny to change it up just a little bit. I don't want you to, you don't have to stretch too far outside the comfort zone. However, just do me a favor and just switch it up just a hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I beg to differ. He's got a wide variety of stuff on there. There's a song called Liquid Jesus, the 4th track. Pretty, lounge. I don't want to say lounge style, but, shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? Like acid jazz.
Okay. All right.
But
maybe I need to listen to it again. I could have been in a shitty mood when I listened to it. It's entirely possible.
Could have been that.
Yeah.
I just saw Lenny. I guess that was about a month or so ago when he came through town as the support for the big U2 extravaganza. And
I think I heard of them.
Yeah, you heard of them, right? And
they're from Poland.
They're from Poland. Keep your hands off their Lucky Charms, okay?
And their taxes.
Yeah, but no, he pretty much did a greatest hits set that night. Well, he only had 45 minutes or whatever. So I think there was one new song in there, and it seemed to fit in nicely with all the other stuff. But I have not heard the new record, but I think I would check that out.
Yeah, it's on Spotify.
Okay,
it's he's an interesting dude, man. I've seen him a bunch of times, and the guy's a really great guitar player, like a really underrated guitar player, I think, because he's such a rock star. Sometimes his playing, I think, gets lost in the fold, but he's a really exceptional player, that guy.
Yeah. So then you're listening to the new Anthrax. Now, what's that one called?
Worship Music.
Worship Music, that's right. I remember it had a very cool graphic on the cover with, like all the sort of zombies reaching out at the pentagram or whatever on fire. And, it looked pretty metal. But
I'll tell you what, Joey Belladonna does an incredible job on there. There's a lot of solid melodic hooks, like on the choruses and stuff. I personally think it's the best Joey record, and it's the best Anthrax record since Sound of White Noise.
Nice.
Oh.
Well,
that's just my opinion.
I'm glad he's back in the band, because I think this current lineup, I think this is the real Anthrax.
Sure.
John Bush was great, but for a whole different reason.
He was an Armored Saint,
and that was more fist in the air, warrior metal. Well, because he comes from the Armored Saint background.
Sure.
But that's not what Anthrax was to me. It was more gritty mosh thrash, and this is that band. And when we saw them on the Big 4 tour, and we mentioned this on the air, I think it was probably the best Anthrax set I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen them a bunch of times over the last 30 years. Admittedly, have never gone out of my way to an Anthrax show, but they were always on the bill as a support act for whoever it was, whether it was Maiden or Priest or Metallica or whoever. So I've seen them a bunch of times over the years, and that was hands down the best, tightest, and most entertaining set I've ever seen Anthrax do. They did do one of the new songs live prior to this record being released. I forget which one it was, but
Fight 'em till you can't.
I think that was it.
Okay.
I think that was it, and it sounded perfect alongside all of their classics. So another one that I will be listening to, I think, this week.
Yeah, and Tony, I listened to that record today, and I fucking love it. What a good rock metal album. It's really, really solid. I mean, I'm totally impressed. And it's funny because I think that record sort of starts out, and I don't know the song names yet, but it starts out very old school Anthrax and then becomes just a big metal album. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, what do you think of the hooks, though, like on the choruses and stuff like that? Aren't they just
really good? Yeah, Joey Belladonna sounds better than he's ever sounded. And there's one song that really stuck out to me, which is, I think, on the last part of the album, called Judas Priest, oddly enough. And I just thought, man, this song is great.
That's their cover of the Lady Gaga song, right?
Yes. Oh, no, it is. That's right. Sung by Glenn Campbell, which we're going to get into in a minute.
We'll get into that in a minute.
Really solid tune. I mean, just a big, that's like 6 minutes long and just a big metal song. I'll be honest with you. I might consider going to see an Anthrax show. And I haven't probably said those words in a long time.
That's right.
But I think I would really consider going to see them on their own and see a full Anthrax set. I just think sometimes, like, Scott Ian's shtick gets a little, come on, dude, enough. He's sort of silly now and that whole thing. But the songs are good, and Belladonna delivers like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And just to refer back to, not to Transatlantic, but to refer back to what Joe was talking about with the Big Four show, Charlie Benante was ridiculous. He is as good as I don't ever remember him being that good of a drummer, ever. And he was unbelievable. He was spectacular, to say the least.
And it was 116 degrees out, too.
I was going to say, I saw them a few years ago at Rocklahoma. This is when they had Dan Nelson singing for him. And Charlie, it's incredible. Just right from the start, right from the countdown into the show, boom, solid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think they're back on track, because when we saw them a few years ago, well, several years ago now, opening for Maiden, when they had who was that guy? Wasn't he like a tribute singer or somebody?
Yes. I don't even. Oh no, he was Dan Nelson, I think is his name.
Dan Nelson.
That was the guy. Okay, all right. Yeah, I thought vocally horrible. The rest of the band were fine, but vocally horrible, and it was not an Anthrax show.
It was an embarrassing set.
Yeah, it was.
I was embarrassed for them. The songs were freaking pathetic.
Yeah,
horrid.
But I think they're back on track.
I want to get a bootleg copy of this last tour, because Joey sings "Only," which is the John Bush song.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any bootlegs floating around, and I actually, I have my ear to the ground about those kind of things. But there is a DVD out of the Big Four tour, and I think the entire set is on there. So that might be a good place to start.
I know, and they're playing tomorrow night in Yankee Stadium.
How about that? Well, then by Monday I should have a bootleg of that.
That's in New York. That's New York, by the way.
Very nice.
Okay.
All right. So then
Campbell.
The trifecta here, because this is sort of the odd man out in your trio of discs here. But let's talk about Glenn Campbell. What's the record called, and what is this like, and what drew you to it?
Ghost on Canvas. What drew me to it? Him just ending his, winding down his career, and then a friend. One of my wife's good friends, who works in Nash Vegas, is just put some rave reviews about it. So it made me want to check it out. I downloaded it and just absolutely fell in love with it. Now get this, I know you guys all three of us are pretty big Jellyfish fans, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, get this, Roger Manning wrote 6 of the songs on it.
Is that right?
Wow,
that is huge.
That's a wacky little fact right there.
You know what? You just sold me. I had no intentions of picking up a new Glenn Campbell album, but now I am totally sold, because anything Roger does, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I think even Jason Faulkner plays on a track.
Wow.
As well as get this, the other contributors, Rick Nielsen.
Wow.
Brian Setzer, Billy Corgan, Dick Dale. They all play like little licks here and there.
Wow,
I'm so in.
Is it a really like classic country record?
No, I would say it's kind of in the vein of maybe some Tom Petty.
Wow,
bit,
interesting.
You would think that Rick Rubin produced it just because of the modern feel to it.
Who produced it?
So I forgot already.
Huh.
But
interesting.
Wow, listen, guys.
Is it a T-Bone Burnett record, maybe?
No,
he just did the Dudes album.
Yeah, I heard that. Right, I listened to the record.
Yeah, you like that?
Actually, it's not bad at all.
I can't think of his name, but Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Academy Award winner Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
It's pretty good. That record's pretty good.
El Duderino.
Yeah, I can listen to sort of like the Jeff Bridges record, for example. Like this, it's just an acoustic record. It's just him and an acoustic guitar kind of thing. I'm into that. To me, that's very singer-songwriter. Yeah. It doesn't irk me the way most country music irks me.
Right.
But this is, I'm into the Glenn Campbell record. I'll check it out.
Sure.
Why not?
I love it.
I'm excited to hear it.
A couple weeks.
Well, yeah.
I to see what you guys think.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, definitely excited to hear it now, especially knowing Roger Manning and Jason Faulkner. Are you kidding me? Are involved. I just find the backstory on this record really, God, it's just so sad because, so many people who are, like you said, winding down their careers, go on a farewell tour, and it's usually because, they're getting up there in age and they can't be on stage anymore. Even Judas Priest, although they're going to continue to make records, this is going to be the farewell tour, apparently, because they're just not young men anymore and they can't do it. But Glenn Campbell's reasoning for his current tour, I think, is the saddest story I've ever heard.
Of course it is.
The guy's got Alzheimer's, and he's touring by his own admission because he wants to play the songs for his fans while he still remembers how to play them.
Yeah.
And that is it's heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking.
My wife and I are actually I just booked a quick getaway to Branson, Missouri to go see him.
Is that right?
Nice.
So it's only about 3 hours away, but yeah, we can't wait. It's in December.
Well,
so
keep us in mind for a review of that show. It's a travesty. When you have to tour so that you can remember your own lyrics. That's listen, it happens to the best of them. I know that, but it's just sad when it's public like that. So.
Right. Right.
Hey, I know someone's trying to call us, and you have to wait until we're done with Tony.
You have to wait your turn, boys and girls.
So remember, yes, go ahead, Tony.
I just wanted to tell you, you mentioned about the Def Leppard duo. Listen, I came up with my own example.
Oh, good.
That is Highway to Hell and Back in Black.
Yeah. Although musically fairly similar, but I mean the fact that the vocalists were different, obviously, it was a big difference between Bon Scott and Brian Johnson. But musically, I mean, for me, old AC/DC, Bon Scott AC/DC, it just always sounded a little bit more dangerous and interesting. Even as great as Heaven and Hell, I'm sorry, Back in Black, as different as that was to Highway to Hell, Back in Black, despite all of its classic songs, still sounds just a little bit too homogenized. Everything's awfully similar.
Well,
whereas back in the Bon Scott days, there just seemed to be a lot more diversity to what they would do.
Because I think there was more of an element of the blues that. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that peaked into AC/DC, and then Brian Johnson came in, and I don't know if this has anything to do with Brian Johnson or not. So I think it may be unfair to lay it on him. The band has changed, and they became a riff rock band. You know, and there's some songs. What would we always do this? The record that was before this Black Ice, the one with nobody liked,
New York.
It's Safe in New York City.
Safe in New York City. I forget the name of that record.
Whatever that record was, that was
a blues record.
More of a blues record.
Right.
And that's a very enjoyable album. It's just, AC/DC is, AC/DC feels like a three-chord rock band now, and it's tough to overcome that.
They never stray too far from the formula, although in the Bon Scott days, maybe a little bit more.
I think it's safe to say right now that every time that band releases a record, they instantly become the biggest rock band in the world.
Yeah.
And
that's
so,
right. There's a resurgence.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Want to hear one more I just thought of?
No.
What about the difference from The Game to Hot Space?
Yeah.
Those are two pretty much different records.
But don't you feel like there's parts of The Game that you can hear Hot Space kind of seeping in?
Maybe, but The Game was good.
As overall, the game was
Hot
good.
Space was no bueno.
You're on to something. The song that immediately comes to mind for me is Dragon Attack.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And Prime Jive.
Prime Jive for sure. Although I can actually listen to Prime Jive, I can't really listen to Hot Space. But
Body Language, no bueno.
Part of being able to listen to a song like Dragon Attack or Prime Jive, I think, is because within the context of that record, it's pretty goddamn good. Because if you tell me I have to listen to Prime Jive or Dragon Attack in order to get to The Game, okay, right, I'm in.
Yeah, play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I think when you listen to Hot Space, there's no real redeeming songs on there that make you go, it's worth it to hear these to listen to that.
Wow, you know what? As soon as we hang up, I'm going to start listening. Well, I'm going to listen to your show, but I'm going to listen to Billy Squier just because I need a Mac fix.
Oh, nice. Nice. It's funny you mentioned Billy Squier. I just want to say that, that's somebody who, for a long time, I've been trying to track down a publicist, try to track somebody down, because I want that interview. I want to ask him, about his songwriting and his career and all that, but what an interesting side story here. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who watched his career disappear in the length of 1 3-minute video. I mean, he was at the top of the world when Emotions in Motion came out, and with one video, the entire empire crumbled because he decided to listen to somebody who said, "You know what? Have your sweatshirt hanging off one shoulder like in Flashdance.
Right.
Jump up and down on your bed in pajamas, like it's a pajama party, and the chicks are gonna dig you. You already got the guys and the guitar aficionados loving what you're doing, but the chicks are gonna dig you." Wrong. Next.
Yeah.
You know what I always found fascinating with Billy Squier when he toured? He always had these incredible opening acts. I mean, one year he had Def Leppard, the next year he had Rat.
Yeah. I saw the co-headlining show with Def Leppard. I also saw him one year play an arena with Saga opening for him. He had some good opening acts. He also had a guitar player standing next to him who wore knee pads. but we won't get into that.
No. Do we know where Billy Squier is these days?
He's probably in the next room right now, doing going through the live shows.
Well, send him our way. I mean, let's go get him then. All right, Tony. Yes, sir.
Well, real quick, I was going to let you know I also downloaded the new Dream Theater. I haven't listened to it yet, and also the Adrenaline Rush.
Oh, Adrenaline Mob.
Yeah.
Rush. Adrenaline Mob. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll be.
What'd you think of that record?
Well, I just heard the cover of Mob Rules at the end, but I haven't had time. I'm too busy listening to Glenn Campbell,
Yeah. Well, next week I want to hear your Dream Theater review for sure, and your Adrenaline Mob for that matter. Definitely interested to hear what you guys all think about that for sure.
Yes. And in a few minutes, we're actually going to have a used bin premiere of one of the tracks off the new Dream Theater. So if you haven't listened to it yet, you're going to get a little slice of that in just a few minutes. But thanks for calling, pal.
Gentlemen, you guys have an awesome show. I always love listening to it. I love calling in, and you guys make me feel like, I'm one of you guys, like we're a 3-part show.
Well, you are.
There you go.
You are one of us, all that's right. For sure.
Guys, take care, man.
Good night, Tony.
Talk to you next week.
Okay, buddy. Good stuff right there, I would have to say.
I would have to say,
yes,
that the room smells just a little bit nicer all of a sudden. Did you notice?
Did you notice? She lovely?
Because Rachel, the Metal Warrior Princess, has entered the building.
Good day.
And brought a little ray of sunshine into our studio.
Hi, Rach.
Hey, Rach.
Nice to see you.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
How are you?
I'm well.
Looking groovy tonight.
It's nice to be back.
You got the sweater off the shoulder thing. You got the Flashdance thing going on.
Are you wearing the...
Whoa!
Are you doing your best Billy Squier impersonation tonight?
No, you know it.
She just did her best Flashdance impersonation. That was serious business right there. I don't know if you saw that. Good day. Yeah, dude, crank this real quick.
Nice. Who's this?
This, my friend, is going to be Uncle Rob.
Oh, is this like Fight?
Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! This is not the Rob we know anymore, unfortunately.
No. Cute.
Remember this show at the frickin' Whiskey?
Sure.
Stupid.
Stupid. But it looks like we got another caller, so why don't we go to the phones and find out the answer to the eternal question of who's in the bin?
Hi, guys.
Hey, who's this?
Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. What's going on?
Not too much.
And where are you calling from?
From Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia.
Bobby is William's friend. Am I right?
Yep.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
So what have you been listening to, sir?
Well, just a lot of Rush.
And nice. Good answer. Although I think that's a requirement north of the border, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
In third grade, they just hand you a copy of 2112 and say, learn it.
Say good day.
That's right.
You have to wear a toque, eh?
Yes. And eat back bacon.
What else are you listening to, man?
A lot of Trivium's new album.
Good. What do you think?
I think it's a masterpiece. Really?
Really? Okay. Now, are you a Trivium fan by trade?
Well.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is just sort of a new addition to your repertoire.
Well, I've been listening to my main top two bands are, well, Rush is definitely number one for me right now.
Right.
But I think Trivium is a close second.
Wow. Well, now I'm really excited because we're going to see them, in
a couple weeks?
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Opening for Dream Theater, which should be a cute little show, I think, right?
I'm curious, Bobby, what with Trivium, especially listening to a lot of Rush and then you switch it out to Trivium, are you a fan of the growling vocals?
I can stand them as long as there's some great guitar backing that up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as long as the playing is good, it sort of compensates for the growling.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I felt like that about Trivium too. I've went through a phase a few weeks back where I was listening to a lot of Trivium, knowing that the record was coming out. And although I have to say I have not heard the new record, but I think Trivium musically is great. Those guys are really solid, man, and it's really good. It's just so hard for me to look past the growling vocals. It's just silly to me, and I don't know how else to explain it. And we've had this discussion so many times. I just can't go there, man.
No, it's kind of hard to listen to that great guitar and that great drums and bass when someone's screeching in the background,
Yeah. Yeah, it just sort of ruins it for me, because I think sometimes when you're singing is part of the melody, and it really brings out the rest of the song. And unfortunately, I just think when you're growling, all I hear is bottom end at that point. I hear nothing else but.
Wow, do you need me to pass you a roll of toilet paper over there?
Yeah, well, that's what it sounds like to me. No, but I did break wind. Little Spinal Tap break like the wind.
Spinal Tap break like
Ladies
the wind.
and gentlemen, hello.
Very nice.
Good day.
Good day.
Cool, man. What else is going on, Bobby?
Well, I got a couple packages in the mail this week and last week. A couple Rush shirts and belt buckles and stuff.
Nice. You ordering from the official website, or just doing some eBay shopping?
From the official.
Nice, nicely done. Putting the money in directly in Neil's pocket. I like it. Because one likes to believe in the freedom of capitalism.
That's right. Freedom of money.
The freedom of big money goes around the world.
It sure does. You ain't lying.
Oh my god.
So that's cool, man. So you're walking around with your with a belt buckle on. I hope you got pants that go along with that.
Right.
With the
those were extra.
Oh, so
just the buckle.
Okay, wait a minute. So let me just clarify. So you've got a Rush T-shirt on. What's that?
The pants are always nice.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because you don't just have like a belt buckle like stapled to your belly button along with a Rush shirt and just kind of hanging out around Nova Scotia.
I think only Slayer fans do that kind of thing. They sort of carve the buckle into their flesh, right?
Right. And as long as the blood is dripping, you're a fan.
Exactly. That's
where Rain and Blood came from.
Nice. Okay, so you're walking.
Slayer.
So you're walking around with your
What's wrong with Slayer?
You're walking around with your Tai Shan T-shirt and your
Tai Shan T-shirt. Whoa!
And your Necromancer belt buckle.
Back up. Back up.
Fly-by-night lunchbox.
No, God, sign me up for a fly-by-night lunchbox.
Look, man, when I sit at the top of the mountain and Rush's belt buckle sings to me. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm thinking about right now is that restaurant that Rachel told us about a while back, where they have all the Rush items on the menu, like caress of steak.
That's right. Yeah.
All the world's a steak.
Yeah. Well, if they had a Thai restaurant, they could call it Tai Shan.
Wow.
Thank you very little.
Okay.
Bobby, this has gone in a really bad way. So I hate to do it to you, man, but unless you got something else, it's in all of our best interest that we move along. Yes, sir.
William wanted me to tell you a couple things. He just recently got a live DVD of it says Lorelei Marillion.
Oh, beautiful. Well, okay. All right. Now you're speaking my language here. There are actually two. There are actually two DVDs of Marillion live at Lorelei, which is in Germany, and I just want to clear the air here. One of them was recorded in 1987 on the Clutching at Straws tour, where they were headlining in front of, I believe it was 75,000 people, and Fish was at his finest. He was in fact wearing a diamonded suit, by the way.
Diamonded.
But then they returned to Lorelei for the first time since the Fish years, just last year, and in 2010 they played Night of Prague Festival at Lorelei in Germany.
I think we just talked about this recently.
Yeah. And they released that as a I think that was a fan club only DVD, whereas the Fish Era one you could get anywhere. And
do you need me to get it for you?
Oh, I have them both.
Oh, okay.
And they are in heavy rotation around my house.
Just checking.
But they're both pretty epic, and one is H at his finest, one is Fish at his finest, and both are Stephen Rothery shredding.
Nice.
Yeah, so good stuff. And they play Slange Lava in both sets.
Thank you.
20 years apart.
What other DVDs did he get?
I think that's it there.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Bobby, you're a rock star. Thank you for calling.
Rock and roll.
Yep.
Good day.
Wear pants with that belt buckle, dude.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Did you say you had one more thing?
He said to check out some links that he put on your Facebook page.
Some, got him, know him, love him. Check him out tomorrow.
Beautiful.
All right, Bobby, wear pants. Talk to you. Thanks, man.
All right.
Well, there you go. I think the theme for tonight is Nevermind.
Which brings me to our next featured track.
Oh, you're going to play some Sabbath.
Yes. It is actually, no, it is a band that begins with the letter D.
Okay, hold on.
It's not Def Leppard.
Oh, Triumph.
It's not Duran Duran.
Wait, I'm going to get it.
Here's the biggest hint I could give you. You ready for this hint?
Queensryche.
No, you're close. Here's my hint. Mike Portnoy is not in this band.
Oh, Blue Murder.
Beautiful. So here's a little Dream Theater. This is lost, but not forgotten.
Barnett. I'm with Brad and Joe from Used Radio. One of these guys has taste, the other one has boucle. I don't think it's curable.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. You know,
that was Josh Barnett, by the way.
It's a shame that Dream Theater doesn't use a few more notes.
Well, they're still learning to play their instruments.
They need more notes.
They're trying to figure out what
they need
more
more cowbell, and they need more notes.
Hey, Josh Barnett, by the way,
yes,
who just brought us back into the show, which is very nice of him. He won his Strike Force MMA fight this weekend, by the way.
Very proud of him.
Moved on to the finals of the Strike Force Heavyweight Grand Prix, where he will face Daniel Cormier, as long as he can heal his broken hand. And I love Josh Barnett.
You told me earlier, what was his quote when they asked him how he was going to handle this this bout?
They do the fights on Showtime, and they did these the locker room interview before his fight, and the lady
wore black.
Yes, she did wear black, and she asked him. By the way, he was wearing a Bolt Thrower T-shirt, just in case you were wondering. But she asked him, she said, how are you going to handle Kirilanov in this fight? And he looked at her dead in the eyes, and he said, I'm going to rip his arms off. I'm going to rip him apart limb by limb and then drink his blood.
It's pretty hardcore.
She said, okay, thank you very much. And he didn't crack a smile. It was pretty great. It was pretty wrestling. It was very funny.
Wow. I think that's what Marilyn Manson said backstage before he opened for Danzig.
Yeah, except he meant it.
Yeah.
Josh Barnett was winking a smile kind of thing. So anyway, congratulations to our buddy Josh Barnett. And we have a phone call. I don't know. Joe?
Yes?
We have a phone call.
We do?
We have a phone call.
All right. Well, then the obvious question would be, who's in the bin?
Hi, guys. This is Brian Johnson from AC/DC.
Good day.
Good day.
You feeling safe in New York City?
Hi, guys.
Oh, it's Darren!
You had us fooled.
You silly dude. What are you up to? Money in the bank?
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Good Rush song, Resist.
Nice.
Yeah, good Rush song. Very nice, very nice. What's up, homie? What are you up to?
Oh, I just finished reading that Ready Player One book that I told you about.
How was
yesterday.
it?
Do you like it?
Yeah, it met my expectations. A lot of 80s pop culture and, just the whole thing of envisioning the movie in my head.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. Whenever I read a book like that, particularly one that I know is going to be made into a movie, I do a little bit of mental casting, like I'm the casting director. So who do you see in the lead role here if you had your pick?
Oh man, I don't want to have to say this.
Hey, by the way,
is it embarrassing?
Wait, whoever's trying to call us, just remember we can't do it. We're one at a time people here. So hold tight and call us back. All right, Darren, go ahead.
Okay, Brad Hirsch or Keanu Reeves. I don't know.
Wow. Because I am an FBI agent.
I like how the way he said it. It was like it was almost interchangeable.
Right.
All
right. Well, I appreciate that.
Like John Wetton or Greg Lake, because they sound the same.
Yeah.
You guys didn't go to that book signing, did you?
No, I wanted to go because you gave me a lot of insights into what this book was about, and I'm really intrigued by it. But we actually ended up at the LA County Fair eating lots of fried foods, but probably would have had a more enjoyable time, hearing about some pop culture references than drinking
on the DeLorean,
drinking a lot of water to wash down the deep fried foods.
Oh.
It was a rough day.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to reading that. And
one of these days.
What's that?
So hopefully you'll get the book one of these days.
Yeah, definitely,
absolutely.
Definitely. Well, cool. Listen to anything good these days?
Yeah, well, when you mentioned how U2 is reissuing Acton Baby and with all this other stuff
right,
with it.
Right, the super duper deluxe box with 637 discs or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, the Stones are doing that again. Remember a while back when I told you that they were reissuing Exile on Main Street?
Yeah.
Right.
And then they put out that concert film from the 1972 tour, which Brad's Facebook picture is Keith Richards in the Drug-Free America on that tour.
Right. That's right.
They're doing the same with the Some Girls album. They're reissuing that with extra tracks, and there's going to be a DVD of that tour as well. So
well, that'll be fun. I like that.
Oh, go ahead.
I like that period of Stones because some of the really, really early stuff when where they were basically the bad Beatles,
right?
In very proper looking English suits.
Bueno.
That wasn't my period, and anything after like I don't know Steel Wheels is really just very much caricature Stones. But there was a period there. There was a period in there in the late 70s and early 80s, and Some Girls is right in the middle of that. Now, despite the fact that it had Miss You, which was their disco hit, the rest of that album is really solid. I think Beast of Burden is great. Shattered is classic. A lot of good stuff on that record that gets overlooked.
I wouldn't disagree. I would just say that I don't need another version of that. It's my problem with the Stones is that they haven't put anything good out in so long that now they're just going and trying to, make me spend my money on the old stuff again.
Right.
It's enough already. It's a money grab, is what it feels like.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If there's a concert film of that tour, I would be interested in checking that out.
But see, to me, that feels different. Like if you're going to release some live footage from that, or even put it out on disc from the Some Girls tour, put out a full concert. I'm in. That's a whole different deal. Oh, they are.
I remember when they when Some Girls came out. They did an appearance on Saturday Night Live, and I think I'm right in saying that was the first time ever a band had done more than 2 songs up until that point. Because traditionally, you get a song about half hour in, and then at the end of the evening, and they did like a little mini set of like 4 songs in the middle of that show. Plus, Mick was in a bunch of skits, and that was good fun. I remember that. That was big fun. But I think Rachel's got some details on this. So here, Rach.
Yeah, they're releasing a DVD Blu-ray plus CD, and it is of their Some Girls tour, and it's from a show they played in Texas.
Oh, see that now to me, that's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, Rachel, I actually read that on Classic Rock magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you interested?
Well, I'll probably get it. I mean, what I was going to say was, how a lot of these bands are doing these full album things.
Mm-hmm.
They're reissuing like the record of that they perform live, like that particular record, and then throwing a concert DVD in. That's like all this extra stuff now. That seems to be the norm.
And to me, that's okay.
Moving pictures and all that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's respectable and worth paying the extra money for.
Respectable, by the way, was on that album as well.
Yeah, well, it's also an Aretha Franklin song, goddammit.
That's just respect.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind. I always said that around Christmas time, I would like to have a whole bunch of $100 bills plastered into a big circle that I could hang on my front door, because then I'd have Aretha Franklin's.
Oh, by the way, Joe.
Yes.
Yes, Darren.
Yes, sir.
In the Ready Player One book,
yes,
there's Joe's Garage is referenced.
As it should be.
Oh, yeah. What's the reference? I'm curious. What's the reference?
It's a garage where the I think it's like where the spaceship gets repaired or something like that.
Nice. Oh, that's clever. That's clever. Yeah, we don't get enough Joe's Garage references anymore. He was a nice boy. He used to cut the lawn.
Dude, you have to. Yeah. Sorry, Darren. Hang on one sec, Darren. Hang on one sec. Now, Joe and I had this discussion about TNT a few weeks back, and I had to put this on because this is about a 40 on my cheese factor level. This is maybe
through the roof.
Yeah, but yes, I'm guessing for you this is probably like a 5.
This is fine. This covers right. This is right in the pocket.
It's in a medium pace.
Yeah.
For me, this is so off the charts cheese, and I love every minute of it. I can't stop listening to it.
I think Tony Harnell is a great singer. I love his voice, and they had great melodic hooks. Totally underrated band.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh my God! My wiener's getting smaller by the minute.
This is where Y&T was headed when they wrote Summertime Girls.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't quite get it to this level.
No, because Manichetti
had some sack.
He's got some balls, for sure. All right, Darren, sorry about that, pal. I was hoping this song would come up tonight because
Nevermind.
Yeah, and now my testicles are far gone. What's that, pal?
Okay, get your yayas out, right?
Get your yayas out. That's right.
I got to mention two things before I go.
Okay.
William wants to know if you guys...
What's up with William tonight?
William, dude, you know how to call us.
Welcome to William Radio.
My goodness.
Okay, what does William want to know?
Okay, he wants to know if you guys know about the controversial censored Stones movie.
Yes,
Cocksucker Blues.
Cocksucker Blues.
Say it with me one time, Darren. Cocksucker Blues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am the... yes. I have been the proud owner of that film. Absolutely.
Yes.
I know about it. It's lovely.
And not Nick the Pig.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's gloss right over that. Okay. Yeah, and what's the other thing?
Bum us out.
By the way, remember when I called a while back and I talked about those Canadian music documentaries that I saw?
Right.
The one about the 70s and the 80s? Well, this Thursday on CBC television, they come out with one for the 90s now, so I'll be checking that out.
Oh, good.
Isn't CVC where Suzanne Summers sells the Thigh Master? Oh, no, that's QVC.
Canadian television.
Okay, all right. So I won't be able to see it with Suzanne Summers then, but that's okay. All right, well, that's cool.
Yeah,
you
so
get a sewing
Twain's
machine
in it.
Well, she would have to be. Who else would be in the 90s version of that? Who else are you expecting would be in there?
Sarah McLachlan,
Sure.
Tom Cochran, Katie Lang.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Katie Lang, he's in it, huh?
Who's the last one?
What's that?
Who was the last one you said after Katie Lang?
Tragically Hip, and then Alanis Morissette and some other ones.
Oh, of course. Alanis was 90s, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
She was a dance artist, you know that, before she became an alternative rock star.
Yeah, I think we've heard some of that stuff. The pop, like girl band kind of stuff.
As I've said many times, some of the best and most important records that artists make are when they've just been dumped and had their heart broken.
Sure.
And in her case, it was like it was off the charts.
Yeah.
It was beyond a Phil Collins divorce.
Well, look at Debbie Gibson.
Well, she's never had her heart broken, so she's never really... I see what you're saying.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, thanks for calling tonight, sir, as always. And, I'm going to be checking out that book. That's something I'm looking forward to reading.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Dude, that's great.
What?
TNT into Adrenaline Mob.
QVC?
QVC.
Okay. Dude, Aretha Franklin's. Come on.
It was sort of funny.
Gold I'm giving you here. So let's talk a little bit about this Dream Theater record that we've been alluding to all night. So,
okay, let's do it.
So Mike Portnoy quits a year ago, almost to the day, and
which is wacky,
which is wacky. And so today, this record comes out, A Dramatic Turn of Events, which is an ironic title, but.
That's a planned title, though, right?
Probably.
Well, they didn't come up with that title before he left.
And we had heard, and in fact, we had played on this show the first single a few weeks back on The Backs of Angels, which sounded like quintessential Dream Theater, so it was very optimistic. And now everyone can hear the full record. So my question to you, brother man, is, what do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good stuff.
It's really good stuff.
It's this record. And let me just back up for half a second here and tell you that all the reviews that I've read or seen, a few weeks leading up to the release of this record, have all pretty much said the same thing, which is that Dream Theater fans will love this record.
Yes,
that this is a definite Dream Theater fans album, and it's not that you don't miss Mike Portnoy, but you don't miss Mike Portnoy.
You don't.
And when I listened to the record, and I got a chance to put it on all the way through, I loved this record. It is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that the best way for me to describe it is it really is old school Dream Theater.
It is.
And I had a moment today where I was listening to the record, and I put on Images and Words right after, because it really feels like an Images and Words kind of record. And it reminded me how great this band really is, first of all. I mean, as much as we joke around and dick around about how great players and all the notes and blah, 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 the record's really solid. The songs are just great progressive metal songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Images and Words, man, I forgot how much I love that album.
Beautiful record.
Wow.
Now, and we've made no mistake and no secret of the fact that, when you listen to Images and Words now in 2011, it does sound light and dated. Well, maybe not light, but thin. From a production value, it's got an early '90s glossy sound to it, and if Images and Words were made today, this would be the record. Dramatic turn of events, because it's not that sort of train of thought, aggressive metal that they were doing for a while, or even Systematic Chaos when Portnoy was trying to incorporate a little bit of the aggro metal riffs, and even the occasional growling vocal.
It was very modern, those records.
Yeah.
They're modern feel, and I respect the fact that he's progressing into that deal, and that's great.
Right.
Some of the best prog bands in the world have to go through that stuff.
Right.
Ultimately, you get back to your roots, right?
Right.
And that's what they did.
That's exactly what they did. To your point about Portnoy, listening to this, in all honesty, I got to admit that if I didn't know that Portnoy wasn't on this record, I would never be able to tell the difference. From sonically, Mike Mangini, they've recorded him so that it sounds like Mike's kit. As far as his playing ability and his fills and his dexterity, it's everything you would have expected from Mike. And from a songwriting standpoint, it's exactly the next obvious step, I think, from Black Clouds and Silver Linings. It's exactly the record that they should have made right now.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the Images and Words thing, I think it's worth mentioning that somebody posted, and I don't want to spend a lot of time or give them too much credibility, but somebody posted a long diatribe on, what website was it on?
I don't know.
Was it on the Portnoy site, maybe?
No,
or
nuh-uh.
Some website where somebody who was basically not necessarily positive or negative about the record. He said it was a good record, but
I believe this is on Facebook.
Was it on Facebook?
I believe so.
And somebody posted this long, 3-page explanation of how he went under the hood and started writing out and mapping out the charting arrangements of the songs on this new record, and then comparing them stanza by stanza with Images and Words, and how it's although the songs and the melodies are essentially different, the structure and arrangements of the songs are an exact duplicate of what they did on Images and Words. I think the guy spent an awful lot of time just trying to prove a point that you could have proved or disproved.
But I want to give him, just to give the guy a little bit of credibility, for a living, it's what he does, is he goes in there and copies music, so it's something, and he's a Dream Theater fan, he's a Portnoy fan, and to his credit, he loves the album.
Right.
So this is not about the record. I think his post is not about the record being good, bad, or indifferent.
Right, exactly.
For him, as a guy who listens to arrangements and reinterprets arrangements all day, this was an obvious thing for him. And I think he just put it out there, and he put his thoughts out on Facebook.
Right.
And I guess Portnoy agreed with him.
Well, that's why I even bring it up. The reason this is interesting is because this is the first time that I think I've heard Portnoy making any kind of public comments about the post-Portnoy Dream Theater. And now that this record is out, Mike can actually comment on what he's heard, and basically he was in full agreement that he says he hears a lot of Images and Words on this record, which that's a fair statement.
Sure. I think Mike's post was, or Portnoy's post was, I immediately noticed everything you wrote about that upon my first listen and found it all incredibly strange. If they are indeed intentional nuggets, then I guess that it's a pretty cool idea. However, if they were desperate attempts of secretly rewriting the past, maybe not so much. I guess only they will know the real reason for it. And that to me feels a little a little bitter party of one.
Right.
But I'll give Mike Portnoy a lot of credit. He's really kept his mouth shut. This had to have been a tough day for him,
Sure.
with this record being out, and he's heard it already. And it's got to suck for him. You know what I mean? It's seeing your baby with the other mother, and that's got to suck.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So but back to what this, to the nuts and bolts of this conversation, which is, this is a fabulous Dream Theater record.
It is.
I mean, really a good album.
What are the differences you notice? Because as I mentioned, the Portnoy and the drumming aspect of this, I really don't see a difference. But I do notice a few things that are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
For me, I think I know there's a little bit more melody in the vocals, and I think that towards the end of the record, and I'm not familiar enough again with the song titles. Do you have those?
I do.
Okay.
I
what's
do.
Do you have them in order?
Yep.
The last song, second to last song.
I'll just tell you that the album opens with "On the Backs of Angels," which we've heard, and it's sort of a pull me under kind of obvious single off the record. "Build Me Up, Break Me Down," which is very heavy and reminds me a lot of "Awake."
But I love the chorus to that because the chorus is very melodic.
Reminds me a lot of "Lie" and "The Mirror" off "Awake," but very heavy. And then they hit you with the first sort of ballad of the record, which is "Lost But Not Forgotten." I'm sorry, that's not the ballad. That's the one I played earlier.
Right.
But then the first ballad on the record is "This Is the Life," which sounds like it could have fit nicely, maybe even on "Falling Into Infinity." Very, very melodic, and the first of the tracks that really showcase how melodic they could get. Big chorus, and the first where I'm really noticing the increased presence of Jordan and a lot of piano on this record.
Well, the whole record is like that. Really quick, I want you to jump to that second to last track.
Second to last is the epic. Which is called "Breaking All Illusions."
That's it, and I think
that's the 12.5-minute monster.
There's a great chorus in there. I think that's the tune I'm thinking of. It's just really beautiful. I think James sings really great on this album, and I think what Dream Theater got away from for a long time was the melody and the vocals. I think maybe even after Scenes, because Scenes, it was all over that, the big concept piece, and even 6 Degrees. But after that, it felt a little lost. And I feel like they came back to that a little bit on this record.
Yeah, definitely.
And as far as the increased
presence of piano,
Jordan, there's no question about it. His DNA is thoroughly all over this album.
Absolutely.
And that to me would be the second biggest change besides the melody.
Yeah. The song you mentioned, by the way, "Breaking All Illusions," which is the epic sort of the album. Although there's several songs that are over 10 minutes long, but that track in particular is sandwiched between two very light and very melodic ballads. So it's an interesting sequencing of the record too.
It's well paced.
Yeah. So right before that is a song called "Far From Heaven," which is a beautiful little keyboard ballad, and then right after that is the album closer, "Beneath the Surface," which is possibly the most melodic song I've heard from them. I don't know, maybe ever.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
That could have been a Journey song.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear this stuff live, obviously, and again, another Dream Theater album where I'm excited to hear all the new stuff. I'd be pleased if they played 3/4 of this album. I fully expect them to.
Yeah. That's funny because that's not always the case. I remember Systematic Chaos Tour. They were, in my opinion, maybe even a little heavy on that record, and I wanted to hear some older stuff. Black Clouds and Silver Linings, I would have loved even more of that record in the set list.
Would have been happy to hear the whole thing.
But that's definitely the case this time around, too.
Yeah, I think so. I think we get a lot of this album, which is good. And I'm going to say this about Mangini, and not that, again, this has nothing to do with the record, but I kind of have an issue with the drum kit.
With the way it looks or the way it sounds?
The way it looks.
Oh, okay. What does it look like?
I don't know. It's a big, square beast with toms on the top and cymbals. You've seen the drum kit. Yeah. We've watched it on YouTube. It's a monster, and I know that he's been playing a kit like this forever. It's his, his personal. He designed this whole kit, and that's. Oh, we lost it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't know. For whatever reason, I think it looks silly. I always loved the openness of Mike's kit. And even though he had a lot of drums and he had a lot of stuff going on, and he even had that small little kit that was connected to it on the side,
right.
I really liked that. But I loved how it just felt more of a rock band. I think with that big cage sort of thing, it feels like a it just feels like a technical prog.
Too technical.
It sort of feels like that, you know. But maybe that'll change when we see it live.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
Here's that phone call that we lost.
Okay.
So let's try to do that.
It's going to be Mike Portnoy to rebut everything you just said.
That'd be fantastic. Right. Good day. Who is in the used bin, eh?
This is BC from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
BC from Pittsburgh. How are you this evening, sir?
Yes, and I chimed in at the appropriate time because I'm absolutely obsessed with the band Dream Theater.
Good.
Fantastic.
Great.
Well, you have entered the right room.
Tell us about the new record. What do you think?
Well, I haven't heard the whole thing yet, to be honest with you, which I know is probably an insult to Dream Theater fans, considering that I am that obsessed with them. But in my defense, I've been taking a lot of college classes lately, so
That's
I haven't
fair.
had a chance to get to the album yet.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick. What is your go-to Dream Theater record? Because there's been a lot of diversity in what they do, despite what some non-believers think that they're just all about the note density. But there actually is some diverse musical aspects of what they do. So what's your go-to period?
Well, there's a lot of great Dream Theater albums, and honestly, I have to say, just because it has a lot of personal meaning in my life, Octavarium is a phenomenal
Great record.
Sure.
Great record, great title track.
Going out to the store, getting that was around the first time I heard of Dream Theater. I was in high school, and that was the band that just truly broke me away from like a lot of the mainstream stuff and really got me interested in a lot of the modern progressive rock and stuff like that. It just quickly became my favorite band, and after hearing that album, I played that all the time on the bus to school, just everywhere I went. That album was always being played, and then of course I acquired all the other ones as well. But it's just a great album.
How'd you get turned on to that?
Just through a friend. A friend mentioned them to me, and I was just like, oh, okay. And I was just like, I heard that stuff, and I'm just like, it really was a big awakening, because it's like, wow, there's so much great stuff that the radio never plays, and they're one of those bands. And I love the sort of joke that their greatest hits album sort of had Dream Theater's greatest hit and 21 other great songs.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like that. It's like, they've always tried to release singles, which I think are very, very great. When you look at bands like Led Zeppelin, The Who, and a lot of those classic bands, progressive rock was big back then. Mm-hmm. When you look at sort of where it's went, I mean, it's still being done. You got a lot of these old folks who are like, there's no good music being made today, but you got to dig for it. I mean, there's still good stuff being made today that sort of has that classic vibe to it, but it's just not being exposed in the way that a lot of these bands like Led Zeppelin are.
Sure.
Amen, brother. Yeah. Nicely said.
Listen, I think that's the beauty of the internet, and it's my whole reason why I'm such a huge supporter of things like Spotify, because I think it's your outlet to find those kinds of bands. The internet is so fantastic for stuff like that, whether that was MySpace, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Mog, any of those things, man.
Or usedbin.com.
That's right. You can find all that stuff there, and when your friend turns you on to one band, you can find another band that's similar, and then you go from there and you connect the dots, and that's the beauty of it.
I went on to find Opeth and Porcupine Tree, which are one of my other two favorite modern favorite bands right
Beautiful.
now.
Good.
Beautiful.
Good for you.
That's
well
nice.
Done.
Well, I know you're going to love this record.
One other comment I wanted to make about it.
Sure.
You were talking about about Jordan Rudess being more of a key factor of the album. From what I've noticed so far, John Mayung has also been a key factor in this album. I hear a lot of bass transitions in this album, more so than usual. So that's a great aspect to the songs I've heard so far.
That's definitely true. In fact, Mayung contributed some lyrics on this record to, 2 songs?
Yeah, I think he wrote 2 of the songs. In fact, I think that song that I was referring to, that big 12-minute epic, I believe that's a
Breaking All Illusions?
I think that's a Myung song.
I could be wrong,
but I think so. Could be right, could be wrong.
I cannot wait
Johnny
to hear that
Lydon,
one.
Public Image Limited.
Good one.
Yeah, well, if you believe everything you've been reading, and there's no reason not to, you have to know that this band believes that they're a much more cohesive unit than they've been in years. And right, wrong, or indifferent, it's what they say, and if they really believe it, I think this record sort of feels like it. It feels like they know who they are. There's no bullshit going on. I think we read Petrucci said, listen, he grew up listening to bands like Yes and Rush, and that's the bands he wanted to be in, and I get that from this record.
Absolutely.
You know, it really feels like it. So, again, if you believe everything you read, and there's no reason not to, this is back to being the old school Dream Theater, hungry and ready to move.
They're firing on all cylinders, and James, by the way, is sounding great on this record.
I think so.
Really melodic and really strong, and I can't wait to catch this tour.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. Well, right on. Well, thanks.
Can't wait to see him live.
Thanks so much for calling in. How'd you hear about the show, by the way?
Well, just came across Pure Rock Radio, actually through randomly Google searching one evening, and then turned it on and really liked their variety, and then your show came on, and I just was like, oh, wow, a bunch of other geeks who like to talk about progressive metal a lot like me. Cool.
Very good.
Welcome to our world. Nicely done.
Cool, man.
Thank God for the internet.
That's right.
Absolutely.
BC, thanks for the call, man. That was excellent phone call.
Finally calling the show. I've been doing a lot of Facebook postings, so nice to actually be on the air this time.
Very good. Nice. It's good to hear your voice. Call again, man.
Will do.
All right, man. So, very good call. Very, very well thought out. I get it. And I love Octavarium too, by the way.
Yes.
In fact, I would say the song Octavarium feels very much in the vein of this record and the old Dream Theater stuff, the Awake and the Images and Words. I'm with you. So, good call.
Absolutely. Good day.
Yeah, good day. Well, any other thoughts on the album, Mr. Mama? Mr. Mama.
I was
good movie, Mr. Mama.
I was informed, by the way, that
Michael Keaton,
Michael James Portnoy III,
Monsignor Doctor,
quit Dream Theater on September 8th, 2010.
Oh, wow.
Just under a year to the day.
That was nice of him not to ruin my birthday.
How about that?
Yeah, appreciate you waiting on that.
All right, well then that's the Dream Theater. We're looking forward to hearing from everybody.
Well, I got something else.
Oh, you got something else? Go for it.
Now. Come on now.
Madonna.
Hang on a minute. Let me find it.
All right.
You fucked me up. Let's see.
This would be an email that you received, right?
We call it that. We do call it that. Here we go. Review from Hermie. On Dream Theater. He says, pack a lunch, boys and girls, because this is 80 minutes that needs to be unpacked over multiple listens. Mike Mangini slides into the size 14 double wide shoes of you-know-who nicely as his 5 world's fastest drummer titles serve him well in this Prague marathon. Wow, this is a long email. Dude, I can't read this whole thing, but it's just for all the drama and the acronym. For me personally, I was struck over and over.
What was that?
Speed reading.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you guys didn't hear all that?
Evelyn Wood over here. Dude, a wreath of Franklins. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, never mind. For me personally, he goes on to say, I was struck over and over again with something short of genius. Ah, yes, James LaBrie doesn't always work for me. When I long for the deep growl of an American V8 or the high pitch of an Italian exotic, instead I get a Japanese inline 6. It will run all day and performs quite well, but leaves me uninspired. Listening to these 9 tracks, I envisioned the circle jerk love juice of Jeff Tate, Brad Delp, and Dennis DeYoung implanted in the womb of John Anderson. Yes, the haloed one can produce offspring. On the back of Angels needed Tate, beneath the surface needed DeYoung, and This Is the Life needed Delp. Trust me, you'll hear it after a few listens. That being said, LaBrie is more than adequate to accompany the Berkeley faithful and the new guy. He just isn't my flavor. All right, well, that's fair enough.
Wow.
His final paragraph, that was pretty epic little paragraph.
Absolutely. That was cute. And so is this. What happened?
Dude, when there's lightning. What the fuck happened to the light?
That was all you.
No, I didn't touch a thing. You know me. Look at me. I got one hand in my pocket and the other one reading an email. Let's see. The final paragraph of this epic email from Hermie. It is a phenomenal record, even if for no other reason than the pure mechanics that went into it. There's no single on this record, and so respect the process and listen to it straight through, as many times as you can. Listen for The Lucky Man by Emerson, Lake and Palmer at the end of Beneath the Surface, or the keyboards of Yes and Breaking All Illusions. Feel the lyrics of Far From Heaven and burn some rubber to build me up, break me down. But above all, just listen.
Just listen.
It deserves that. A solid effort by masters of their craft. Today a sinner, tomorrow a saint.
Wow.
Dude, that's a pretty epic
That's a good email. I wouldn't disagree with any of that.
Fucking great email.
And you didn't even mention that they play a lot of notes.
Oh, yeah?
There's a lot of notes on this record.
Oh, never mind.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a well said, Hermie. I think I would agree as well.
Indeed.
I'm a fan.
All right, so in the coming days, hopefully you will be all running out to whatever your local record store is, or Amazon, or wherever you get records, and pick this thing up, because A Dramatic Turn of Events is a beast. It is a monster. I think if you're a listener to this show, you're going to love this thing, and we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
We want to hear your take on it. We want to hear what you like, what you don't like, what you'd change, and what your mom's wearing. So we want to know about all of that stuff. Aretha Franklin's? Come on, no? All right. So clearly we've been talking a lot about Dream Theater, and all of the songs this evening are presented by bands that begin with the letter D. So
Guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
Without further ado,
Rush.
Dr. Starr.
I'm not supposed to listen to this, you know.
Someone just like you. And now that I found your love, there's nothing you can't do. Full force, I'm coming in full force for your love. Full force, I'm coming in full force for your love. Like a soldier in search of love, and now that you're here with me, I know that I will survive. I was fighting my whole life long to find someone like you. It was hell on the battlefield. Now the war is through. Full force, I'm coming in full force for your love.
Bin Radio. What are you listening to?
Hey!
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, Joe,
Yes,
I've
Brad?
always wondered, isn't it time you get your own website?
You know, it really is.
Because everyone's got one these days. So what are you waiting for?
I don't know.
Well, let's say for a moment you have a business.
Okay.
Maybe you're in a hot new band.
Maybe.
Maybe your band is Shark Island.
How about that?
Maybe you were a part of the fantastic Black 13 project that none of us ever heard of.
Possible.
It's
definitely
possible.
not in contraband, though.
That's true.
Definitely not.
Well, if you wanted to share any of that with the world, this is your chance.
Okay.
Why, you might ask?
Why, Brad?
Because thanks to our partnership with GoDaddy.com, it's never been easier to get online and get your balls rolling.
Nice.
Because they're on your back and we're here to help. First, head over to purerockradio.net/
Not Axel.
GoDaddy. Then just enter coupon code
POD167.
at the time of purchase, and just because you listen to the show, you're going to save 10%.
10.
10%. How cool is that, Joe?
It's pretty cool.
Well, maybe you're thinking, I really want my own site.
I want my own
but
site.
I don't know anything about
setting up a web page.
Fear not, friends. Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark is a fantastic album, and it's a piece of cake.
And don't forget,
Part 4 of the Fear Trilogy. Well, GoDaddy offers all kinds of free tools with Danny Carey to help you create your site and get it up.
Anybody seen Maynard's Personality?
Plus, every time you enter coupon code POD167, you'll be supporting Usebin Radio and our pals at purerockradio.net.
Hi, pals.
Check out the complete list of coupon codes at purerockradio.net/
Not Axel.
GoDaddy, and be sure to say hi to Maynard's Personality for us.
Yes, indeed. Hey!
And back to Bob Seger.
Yes. A little abrupt, but it works.
All right, then. Now, we have something very special in store for you tonight. You know her. You love her.
You smell her.
That's right. Every woman wants to be her, and every man wants to be with her. We call her
Rachel, the Metal Warrior Princess, goddess of all things evil and sorcery. How's it going, Rach?
Extra, extra, pinball, bonanza, death, diamond blanket, makes the big game. Saturday, fine, faces the champ. Extra, extra, pinball, big time, million.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing well. This is a fun show.
Still silly.
I'm having fun, eh?
Hey.
Hey.
Never mind. A wreath of Franklins. No, all right. Never mind.
It grew on me.
It's, yeah, like a fungus.
Jesus Christ.
So what's going on in the music news? Other than the fact that a little band called Dream Theater released an album today. Other than that.
Other than that, is there any other news?
Not really, but
No.
you know, let's wing it.
No. Well, you know, I don't think we've talked about this, and when Darren called, it reminded me of a previous story. And have you heard of this? There's a super group. It's called Super Heavy, and it's a group made up of Mick Jagger, Joss Stone, Damian Marley, A.R. Rahman, and Dave Stewart. Have you heard of it? Have you heard?
Of Eurythmics fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show. I don't remember if they were just going to be doing some shows together, or are they actually recording together?
No, they recorded. They recorded an album. It's out on September 19th, and it's a self-titled album, Super Heavy. And they actually have a single out, and it's called Miracle Worker.
Yeah, I heard the single. I didn't love it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it's it's weird. It's just weird seeing Mick in that. It's in that group of people. It's just weird. I mean,
but it all doesn't make sense.
No, and I think that's the point. I think the whole point is to put somebody like Joss Stone and Damian Marley in a room with Dave Stewart and Mick Jagger and make something kooky. It's just supposed to be like a weird modern meld of funk and rock, and it's just not good.
Does it sound at all like Stones?
No.
It's kind of like reggae influence, but he keeps saying, Mick Jagger keeps saying that, it will remind you of the Stones, but it's different.
No, it doesn't. For me, the song I heard anyway.
No good.
No, and the only thing that reminds you of the Stones is when you hear Mick's voice, and that's kind of... listen, I should clarify, too, we've only heard the one song, so who knows what the rest of the record is like, but I found it interesting that, that the story broke a few days ago about the meeting that they had, I guess, for the 50th anniversary. They were all seen walking out of a building in London for the big 50th anniversary meeting and what they were going to do. And Jagger made it real clear that there was going to be no tour and nothing special. And the most he would like to do is maybe get a plaque at the club where they first did their first gig. And he said, obviously, Keith won't be invited. And I don't think he said that tongue-in-cheek, by the way. And he said, whatchamacallit, obviously... whatchamacallit, who's the other, who wasn't there at the very beginning? Not Bill Wyman. Come on, who else is in the Stones?
Charlie Watts on drums.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it is Wyman then. Well, Wyman's not in the band
Wyman's
anymore.
not with them anymore.
Who else is in the fucking, why am I drawing a blank? I can see his face. Nah, okay, it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, he said he's not getting a plaque either because he wasn't there during the first gig. So, you know... It seemed a little bitter, to be honest with you, but the fact that he's not, he's pissed at Keith, and I think that, you know...
Oh, you're thinking of Ron Wood.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, thank you. God, I can see his face. That's the thing. Yeah, so Ron Wood is not getting a plaque either, because he wasn't there. So whatever.
You know what that statement says to me, quite honestly? Full-blown 50th anniversary tour. That's. I honestly believe that if Mick is going out of his way to make comments like that, it just buys a little bit of time while they could, start designing the stage and do what they need to do. I'm thinking full-blown 50th anniversary tour around the world, every arena you could think of, and every stadium.
So it's an Aerosmith situation?
It could be like that. But
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go no on that. I will. I think that I think there's genuine animosity between that. Mick is pissed at Keith, and I think at this point he figures, fuck it. What do I need that anymore for in my life? Mick can do a million things, and I think he probably will. You'll see him in more movies. You'll see him do these silly, super heavy things. He's going to do a full tour probably with that super heavy and whatever he does. And then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they end up doing one big show, or maybe they do, Glastonbury next year. Who knows? But I don't know. It seems like he's a little bitter. Look, man, when you talk about a guy's dick size, that can piss somebody off.
Ooh, hey, watch it.
Do you know? Oh, sorry. His penis size.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. I can't imagine a big corporate entity like the Rolling Stones passing up the opportunity to cash in once more for a 50th anniversary with the Some Girls box set on the way.
I think that's in lieu of a tour.
Shadube.
She's so respectable. So yeah, I think it's coming, but yeah, we'll see. All right.
Okay, next
up.
Okay.
On the news agenda with Rachel the Meta Warrior, Princess of all things dark and evil. Sorcery.
So, Opeth are now...
Heard of them.
Yes. They're now streaming their new album, Heritage, in its entirety for free.
In a way, it's kind of sad.
Why?
I think they have to stream it because it leaked so badly. I don't know exactly, where the leak started, but obviously somebody got an advance copy of this, and this ended up track by track on YouTube. It ended up on all kinds of BitTorrent sites, and it's one of the, I'm not a big, BitTorrent or download guy, but it's one of the most publicized and well-known leaks that I've heard about in a long time, where it's not just out there if you go seeking it. It's out there. So I think you gotta at that point just stream it, so at least people have the opportunity to hear the real deal with your control of the audio quality on your own website, as opposed to hearing somebody's third generation dub from advanced copy to analog to MP3, where they put it up on some cheesy site and then throw it up on YouTube, where you've lost all kinds of sound quality. Because I saw on YouTube that some of those tracks are up there, and those are not the versions that I want to hear.
Right.
I want to hear the full record, which comes out next Tuesday. So it's kind of sad that they have to stream it, but I get it, and the record's pretty good.
When did the record come out in the rest of the world? Does anybody know? Because my guess, because it happened with Dream Theater, is that the record was out over a week ago in Australia and in Europe, and that's what leaks. So when you are, I don't want to say silly enough, but when you're silly enough to release a record in pieces in this day and age, that's what's going to happen. You're going to release a record in Europe a week earlier than in the United States. Dude, come on. I mean, BitTorrent sites are going to be all over that kind of thing, and YouTube and all that, and you have no control over that. So if, in fact, that was the case, then you sort of get what you get, right? If it wasn't the case, then it's a shame, and you got to do what you got to do, and you stream the record. Although I have a funny feeling they were going to stream that record anyway, because, you know, Roadrunner did it with Dream Theater. They were streaming it for a while. So I think it's the right thing to do. You just, in this day and age, it's as much as we want to think that it's about that big first week of record sales still, and it's about making, you know, selling as many records as you can. Obviously, you want to, but I don't think that's the main goal anymore. It's only a little bit of the equation.
Yeah, I totally agree. Unless in 2011, unless you're Beyonce or Gaga,
Lil
Wayne, of course, or Nicki Minaj, anyone, then the first couple of weeks matter, because that's where you're going to actually be doing big numbers of physical product of a demographic that doesn't necessarily seek out BitTorrent music and doesn't necessarily seek out downloads. They want physical product, and so they could, you know, crank it at their Friday night hip hop party.
No, you're 100% right. You see how many records Lil Wayne sold?
I'm guessing more than 6.
How about 1 million in the first week? Wow. 1 million records in 2011 in 1 week, ladies and gentlemen.
That's nuts. Those are crazy numbers. You don't hear about that anymore.
Dude, 500,000 is nuts.
Absolutely. Those are crazy numbers. Who would have expected that? Yeah, I don't think Opeth was going to be doing those numbers, even if it was a security release. But at the end of the day, I'll probably be spending a lot more time with that Opeth record than the new Lil Wayne. So.
Sure. No, listen, I'm with you. I'm just making a point that I'm actually validating your point, which is that genre buys records, and pop music fans buy records, and Lady Gaga now is a fan. Lady Gaga fans are now, you know, anywhere from, you know, 15 years old to 60 years old, and that age range buys records. So there's still pockets of people that buy albums. It's just, again, I don't know that it's as important as it used to be, although I'm sure everybody would deny that, but I think it's not as important as it used to be, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. And it's the beauty of things like Spotify, and you can listen to it and then decide if you want it.
One likes to believe in the spirit of music.
Or Spotify.
Got another one for us, Rach?
Yeah. So Glenn Hughes has announced dates for his first acoustic tour, which features acoustic interpretations of songs spanning from his career. Thus far, he has only listed dates from the UK, and that starts November 14th through the 22nd.
I saw that. I was really bummed that that's not coming here.
You never know, though.
Yeah, I hope so. I just get a feeling that Glenn Hughes, that there's a bigger market for Glenn Hughes music, solo or otherwise, in Europe than there is here, and that's fine. I mean, you know, it's not to, you know, it's not obviously not the same level, but Francis Dunnery is the same thing. I mean, Francis does club tours, you know, everywhere but the United States. So, and I think it's probably the same with Glenn Hughes. He can make money and he can tour over there, and probably can't do that here.
Does that mean, I don't know if either of you know the answer to this, does that mean that as far as touring and promotion of the new Black Country Communion is pretty much done now? Is that record done? Is there any more tour dates for Black Country Communion? No, that's it, huh? Okay, all right. Well, that's sort of a shame, because that was a monster record and a super group of sorts that deserved a lot more recognition for what they were doing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I love that record. I know they got the DVD coming out soon, and maybe there'll be some shows around that.
We should, I don't know, get one of the guys from Black Country Communion here into the studio, so maybe we could ask him about that. Any ideas, Brad?
You mean like Glenn Hughes? No.
No.
Jason Bonham?
No, although that'd be cool.
Jimmy Page?
No, although he's from the Black Country.
Joe Bonamassa?
Getting warmer.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, in this very studio, on this very rock and roll radio program, Derek Sherinian will be here to discuss his new album, new solo album called Oceana. It's out next Tuesday, so we'll play some tunes for that. Both Joe and I have heard it. It's an excellent prog instrumental record, fusion record, and tons of people play on the album. And Derek, obviously from Black Country Communion, and obviously from Dream Theater, and we'll get his thoughts on the new record and the whole Mike Portnoy thing. But this guy, he's played with Kiss, he's played with Billy Idol, played with
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, welcome to his nightmare, because that would be my nightmare if I had to play with Alice Cooper. So Sherinian in studio next week, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be something cool.
Nicely done.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Hey.
Got another one for us, Rach?
Mick Mars is writing a new solo album.
Mick Mars is a zombie.
Exactly.
This is your chance to cruise with the crew.
But
poor Mick Mars. This guy, I mean, come on. This guy is fucking can't take 3 steps. Making a solo record.
That's why it's news.
He's barely standing, this guy. I think they just prop him up in the leather pants and hope that they're stiff enough to keep him standing for the duration of Girls, Girls, Girls.
It's true.
So
I feel so sad.
So sad.
It really is. Look at that guy on stage, and he's just a big zombie.
But he's doing it.
Yeah.
Those fingers are moving.
Well, he needs the money. Yeah. If you believe anything in Motley Crue's book, The Dirt, it's all about the cash with Mick, although it doesn't mean he doesn't love the music, but the dude needs money because he doesn't have any.
Yeah,
and
but
he's got ex-wives.
He's recording right now he's writing with Twiggy and Marilyn Manson, so I don't think he's going about it the right way.
I don't know. I think that's an interesting record. I think that could be kind of interesting. Whenever one of those guys in Motley do something a little outside the box and maybe even a little bit more aggressive, it seems like that's the best stuff, because Vince Neil's solo records, they are well within the Motley box, and they're more or less uninteresting. When Nicky did that 6 a.m. That's what I said. Aretha Franklin's. Okay. When Nicky did that, it was well outside the box, and it was much heavier and kind of diabolical and conceptual. And I thought that was great. So if Mick's getting involved with some goth rocking Manson people, I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Certainly a lot more interesting than him going back to his blues roots, because he was in bar bands 15, 20 years before he joined Motley, which by the way was going to be named Christmas if he had his way.
Right. Although I would say that I would be interested in a Mick Mars blues album, just because I think he's a better player than the way he plays in Motley Crue. So but that would be probably like a guilty pleasure thing. But yeah, I'm down with that. Anything different is good, except for Tommy Lee, because everything he's done outside of Motley Crue has been horrendous. Horrible. And I went and saw him on the first Methods of Mayhem tour.
You did?
Yeah, he played the El Rey, and I didn't pay, but it was so terrible, and he is such a great personality and all that kind of fun stuff. He's a fun guy. Horrible.
Hey,
just terrible.
Did you know that he can drive a boat with his wiener? I'm just saying.
He can drive a boat with his wiener.
That's some talent.
That's pretty good, but he didn't do that at the El Rey. I'm just saying. And maybe if he did, I would have stayed for an extra song.
That was the encore. You left early.
Oh, yeah.
That was the encore.
Temple of the Dog.
Yeah. No, he started playing drums with his wiener for the encore, and I just like
on a roller coaster.
I just like that we're using the word wiener.
Yeah, and all that stuff he's done has been uninteresting to me. Whereas, just to say what Joe said again, the 6 a.m. stuff I thought was very interesting and very good, because I think Nicky is a good songwriter. I think he's a smart songwriter. He's a very talented guy.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. So I'd be curious to check out the Mick Mars solo project. I think that'll be fun.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Whitesnake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Whitesnake are to have to release a box set on November 7th. It's titled Box of Snakes.
Clever.
Box of Snakes, The Sunburst Years, and that's from
1978.
to 1982.
Yes.
So this is the good stuff. This is what everybody wants. This is what you've been waiting for.
This is the post Deep Purple Coverdale.
Dude, this is the blues Whitesnake era. This is good stuff.
Meat and potatoes here.
Yeah.
And this includes every studio album, every live album from that era, that period, and 2 unreleased BBC concerts, a limited edition 7-inch vinyl, a DVD that features promo videos, TV performances, official bootlegs,
and a VHS tape of the making of Octoon Baby. It could happen.
And a performance at Capitol Center in Washington from 1980. Plus a
how funny.
Plus more.
I was just listening to a bootleg of that very show a couple nights ago.
Well, you'll get it in this
now
box
I'll get
set.
the official.
You'll
That's
get the
cool.
official bootleg. Plus a 90-page book, which includes interviews, recent and old interviews, and unseen photos. So,
well, let me just say this. Love that era of Whitesnake. My favorite era of Whitesnake by far. I think it's Coverdale at his finest. Live in the Heart of the City is fucking great. And are these albums like remastered or anything, or is this just the studio? I mean, I have all the studio releases.
I mean, they're all studio, but it didn't say that they were remastered, but you would think in this day and age that would be a selling point.
God, I hope so, because there's no other reason for me to... I mean, the extra stuff, the DVD and all that stuff is cool, but I'm not going to spend all that money to buy 7 albums I already have.
You get a 90-page book.
I don't know. What am I going to do with that?
You get a vinyl.
So I'm going to take a dump and I'll be done with it. Then what?
Then what? And then what?
Can I get it on my Kindle?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, can I get it on my Kindle? No?
No.
All right. Hey, I got a cool email, which I can't get through the whole thing, but I can give you parts of it, from Ken from Canada, who said, a great stellar release day. So here's some other things we haven't talked about.
Okay.
Today, in stores, the Arch Matthias release, which is called Sympathetic Resonance. And we've been talking a little bit about this album. We knew it was being made. First John Arch project in forever and a day. And it's as close to a Fates Warning reunion, I think, as we're probably going to get. And I heard the single. It's up on the band's website. And it's Fates Warning.
That's cool. And it's also cool that John Arch is even making music again, because we talked about this a while back when we went through our sort of little Fates Warning period there, but after Fates Warning, John Arch didn't do much for a very, very long time. Put out an EP with 2 songs on it, which I think, I know Portnoy played on it, and probably a few others from that sort of prog metal world. And I think those 2 songs were the finest he ever recorded. Really epic tunes. And since then, I want to say he's been like doing construction or painting houses or something like that. So it's just cool that he's back out there, because what a monster voice this guy's got.
Funny, you know what? I was just scanning through Ken's email a little bit, and he said almost what we said word for word about the Sympathetic Resonance record. But he did say that on the record is former Fates Warning player Frank Oresti and Joey Vera. Also playing drums is Bobby. I can never pronounce his fucking name. Jarzambik. You know what I'm talking about? No? Okay. It's a pretty prog metal record. It's pretty heavy. And like I said, I heard the tune, the single, loved it. So, again, Ken highly recommends it. I would agree. Pretty cool. Also in stores, new to Usbin listeners, he says, is the latest from Danish band Anubis Gate. Rachel? No love? Joe? Anyone? Okay.
Never heard of them.
All right. Well, it's a self-titled release. It's their 5th. Classy, traditional metal, pre-80s Phil-led Genesis with some King Crimson hints. Almost what Queensryche would sound like if they were still more metal-based band like their first 4 releases than what they're doing these days. iTunes is selling it for $5.99 for the next few weeks.
Anubis Gate?
Yeah.
I'm in. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. And, of course, Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare Part 2, is in stores today. So, what can I tell you about that? New Dream Theater is great, he says. I think it has some of the best songs they've done in ages. You guys have covered all my feelings, and so there you go. Good email, Ken. Thank you very much.
Really good. I just saw Alice Cooper this morning on the morning news, sitting there with with the weatherman and the girl who gives you the headlines, and it was all just so kind of sad and cheesy because he's got obviously the Welcome to My Nightmare coming out, which is, I guess, some sort of retarded sequel, and he's going to be playing at the Whiskey, where he played, back with the original Alice Cooper band back in 1903, I think, and I don't know, it's just all very sad and silly to me that he feels the need to revisit that. I mean, it's not going to be like Welcome to My Nightmare,
which is a great album.
Which is a great album, but it's not going to be that, not in this day and age.
I'm sorry. I know he's got, what's her name, Orenthal, from who was playing guitar with Michael Jackson when he died. Well, not actually when he died, but before he died. Well, the night before. The day before Michael Jackson died. Well, the day Michael Jackson died, she was playing guitar, but then he went home and he died. So she wasn't playing guitar when he died.
So she killed him.
She killed him, basically.
She must shred.
Hers was the last guitar he ever heard, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
that could have killed him.
Yeah, well, yes. So in this band is Dr. Conrad Murray, Orenthal, however you pronounce her name, Orenthal James Simpson, otherwise known as OJ. Okay. I don't know how you pronounce her name, but she's the chick that played guitar with Michael Jackson. She's very good. And so he's touting her around like to help sell this record and sell the tour, I know.
And she's got really big hair.
White hair. All right, cool. Great, you got one more quick one for us? Because I know we're up against the clock. I'd like to hear one more thing you have to say, though.
Okay. Iron Maiden drummer Nico McBrien will embark on a solo tour, and it's presented by Premier Drums. And no.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
For the sake of full disclosure here, I was Nico's roadie for a little while, and Nico is a character. Dude can drink too, but he's a character, and he's a lot of fun. And because of him, I had the wonderful pleasure every night of during sound check of being able to sit on a drum stool in an empty arena and kick the floor toms and play a few things with the sticks and hear myself in an empty arena. So that's large. Nico's he's a slamming drummer. He's great. So anything Nico's doing, I'm in.
He's doing, it's a mini tour, and it's basically to promote Premier Drums that he designed. It's a full kit, and they also have an authentic reproduction of kits that he's played on tour. So it's going to be a mini tour. Unfortunately it's in the UK only. It starts October 31st and throughout mid-November. The UK and Germany, sorry. And
that's fun.
Yeah, he's going to be doing tutorials. He's going to be playing, and he's going to be doing a little Q&A and, joking around with the crowd.
Cute. That's fun. I don't know that I would go even if it was here, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of drum clinics like that. But, yeah, he's a star. He really is a star. He's probably the underrated star of Iron Maiden, I would say.
And he's the drummer of The Beast. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Groovy. So now we're all caught up on the music news.
Nice job,
and
Rich.
it smells really good in here, and that's all good. And we've all got Dream Theater to listen to during the week, and that's all good. And we got lots of great phone calls this evening, and lots of great texts, and emails, and correspondence, and all kinds of good things going on. We want to thank you all for joining us. But wait, we're not ready to go just yet. We've got a couple of minutes, and so before we get to any thank yous, what else is going on, brother man?
There's so much.
So much. What did you do this week?
I tell you,
what did you do? What were you up to the last few days?
This week? Well, Wednesday was my birthday. It was that was lovely, and it was it was fine. It's like we talked about last week. It's a school night, so there's not much you can really do. But Leah was gone for the week, and the weekend. She went to a bachelorette party and hung out with drag queens, and I got to spend a full day in the night with Ethan, and I loved every minute of it. It was very fun. We went and played soccer at the park, and we had a good time.
That's football.
No, football was on Sunday. Although, actually, that's not true. We did watch a little bit of football. We watched the Ohio State game Saturday morning, and we were...
Wait, wasn't Keanu the quarterback for Ohio State
in Point Break.
Point Break,
but he broke his leg.
I am an FBI agent.
He was not the Dream Police. Yeah, so that was it. It was really pretty great, and watched our buddy Josh Barnett late Saturday night after Ethan went to bed, and watched him win his MMA fight, and that was cool. And it was a very nice and relaxing weekend.
Very nice.
Yeah. What about you, pal?
Well, on Saturday I watched some proper English football as my boys from Manchester United are just dominating right now. So they won their match on Saturday, and then we were off to the LA County Fair where the feeding frenzy ensued, and we were on a quest. We got smart this year. Instead of somebody ordering one of those retarded over fried breaded things on a stick, we would order one of those things and have everybody take just a little taste so that we could actually go for the distance during the course of the day and sample lots of things instead of just getting bombarded with one thing. Like, no one person should eat an entire deep fried Snickers bar on a stick, but if you take a little piece, you're okay, and then you're ready for round two.
Right.
So we sampled the potato tornado, which is basically a potato on a stick that's been carved into like a tornado-shaped whirlwind and then deep fried. So that was pretty hardcore. We had deep fried ribs. We had carne asada nachos. We had special jerky. Don't even ask. We had bacon cheddar cheese chips.
Dude, I'm gonna get sick.
And then I had a Pink's hot dog with chili for breakfast.
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty hardcore. But it was all good. Good time at the LA County Fair. And I was just bummed that they didn't have a good musical act, because in the past, we've seen Kansas there, and we've seen lots of cool musical acts. It was One Republic, and we didn't even stick around for that. No bueno.
Hey, quick email from Kyle before we get out of here. Kyle said that Frank Oresti is in effect back with Fates Warning, and Fates may actually release a new album next year with Ray Alder.
Oh, that's cool.
So there you go.
That's cool.
And he said also, just a reminder, some other records out today was Umphreys McGee, Death by Stereo, which we talked a little bit about, and a band called St. Vincent with an album called Strange Mercy.
Okay.
So there you go.
Have to check some of that out.
Looking forward to the Umphreys record this week, by the way.
A couple of quick thank yous.
A few of them. Rich at Pure Rock Radio. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Sherry Edwards and Max Krasny at Westwood One.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you very much. Rob Wilson and Chris Stone for usedbin.com, which everybody should go check out and hang out this week in the forum and rule.
Nice to see you. To see you. Nice.
Used Bin Radio. What are you listening to?
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
You're listening to a live internet broadcast on Pure Rock Radio.
At PureRockRadio.net.